It's time to step inside the Octagon with your host, Ike Feldman.
It's the first time for everything. I haven't had a history of
What is up, fine folk? What is up, fight community? What is up, art community? What is up, people of this earth? This is your boy, your brother in arms, Isaac Ike Feldman, with my brother in arms, Mr. Nerdy Jerm. Jeremy? I don't know your last name.
Massa.
Massa. Yeah. Well, we're about to have a massive podcast, a massive conversation. Jeremy, thank you for coming all the way out to the city, as you can tell by the skyline in the background.
Beautiful skyline.
This is a crazy time of year with the holidays to be commuting into the city, to the studio. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, I'm just very excited about this conversation. You're one of the coolest people I know, and I don't know that many people, so that says a lot. We had a brief little chit-chat and connected recently, and just obviously knew you before the chit-chat, but it was just in the moment. You were feeling it, I was feeling it, and all of a sudden I look in my mailbox a couple of days, maybe hours later, you sent a book, The War of Art. Now, you're creative, I think, to a more extent than I am. I'm a creative, obviously. We're creating a conversation. We're creating content. But you, my friend, do some amazing work with your music. The lyricist that you are, unless it's GPT.
No, never.
I'm kidding. But like the work that you do just really, it affects me. You know, I didn't think I would get to this soon. I haven't even said hi, what's up? We'll get to that. Forget about that. Your art's amazing. It moves something in me. It really speaks to the times we're in. It has like the last song, The Dearly Departed, that is just blowing up in my feed. You're very modest. You're not going to say it's doing well, but I think it's freaking amazing art. Dearly Departed, I love that now we have the captions on the screen. It has become a thing now that social media is ramped up and nobody wants to click lower right to unmute on Instagram. So I got a chance to read your lyrics because, as we were speaking before, I've been a beats guy. I used to have like synthesizers and drum pads and roll-ins, MPCs, and all about that. I always loved the beat. Alchemist, one of my favorite beat makers, DJ Premier, obviously. But I get to see your lyrics first, and I go, man, these are some deep lyrics. Talk to me first. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
All right, let's move on. How'd you get into music?
Oh, I was always into music, so there was never like a time when I wasn't into music. But there was definitely a layoff from it between 2010-ish, I would say, until 2020. And then, but like I grew up on writing lyrics and writing music and like more into like rock stuff and like more heavy metal than anything. And then, you know, after there was like some bands I was in that we had a decent following and, you know, never really got anything going too much. But then I took off for, I don't know, a good 8 to 10 years of like not writing anything because, you know, writing, and actually it's a lot of what this book is about, the Stephen Pressfield's War of Art. It's overcoming resistance because, you know, it's like he talks a lot about like all the different ways that resistance shows up in a creative's life, whether it be like distractions of drugs or sex or like the normal stuff that you're like, oh, this stuff, that's the obvious stuff. But like just general procrastination and like, you know, keeping up with the Joneses. And like he goes into all these different examples of how resistance shows up and stops you just from doing the one thing that you know will make you feel better is like just sit down and write. Like even if it's like, but like it's the gap between like thinking about writing and sitting down and putting a pen onto paper it could be expansive and it just almost seems impossible of an obstacle. So then during 2020, when everything got shut down, I owned a gym at the time. So I had like literally,
Really?
Yeah, I owned a CrossFit.
That's my kind of musician. Somebody that's not only mentally creative, but you're physically creative, like creating this human animal.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's a big connection between the physical body and the mental and spiritual. You know, if you're mindful about the way that you move, the way you exercise, the way you train, you're going to have better mindfulness of spirit and emotion, you know, like if more tuned into your body and your mind collectively. So during that time, the CrossFit was closed. So I had so much time on my hands and I was like so depressed because obviously like
Everybody.
Yeah. And then like, that's why it's almost like you're not supposed to say that. Like everyone was fucking depressed, man. Like, yeah, I get it. But regardless of whether everyone else was or not, you know, I had to find a way to cope with that, you know? And so I had the gym to myself. No one was around. And I was like, and how it happened was like I started writing a song for like the gym about like injury prevention, and like I started rapping, and it was like I was doing content for the gym, and I had like myself like talking to
That's
myself.
awesome.
Yeah, like, you know, similar like what TikTok people are doing, like just like having a conversation with myself about gym stuff or whatever. And there was like my like CEO character, which was like just kind of like me talking like I normally would. There was me with my glasses on, which was like the nerdy one, and then there was me like with my like CrossFit like bandana and like, you know, tight t-shirt and all that stuff. And I made a series of those videos, and then the nerdy one made a rap song, and then I just started writing again, you know, and like that kind of then I started going like, okay, like how do
Did you just say in third person? The nerdy one?
The nerdy one. Yeah. Because,
alter ego, right?
Well, it's definitely an experiment in alter ego because, you know, like I think a lot of it happens, like it's almost as if when I do go and record music or like I have to go into like another person because like the introvert that I am and like the lack of, you know, severe like self-esteem issues I have and confidence issues that I have, or especially historically, like, you know, I'm 43 now. So like I'm way beyond the age.
You look great, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Physical training.
You got to stay in the gym, guys. Stay fit. But like, what was I just saying?
About the alter ego.
Alter ego. Because like, you know, everyone knows it. Like when you're 20 years old, but from the time you're like 20, when you hit 20 years old, 21 years old, you're like, fuck, it's all downhill from here. Like, you don't trust anyone over 30, like, especially in music. Like, it's like age is like, it's like a no-go. It doesn't matter who you are or
in
what
music?
you do. Yeah.
That's the crazy. What do you mean?
If you're not made by the time you're like 20, 25, then like
you haven't experienced life, though.
I know it's well, that's the craziest thing is you have nothing to write about. You know, that's why it's all heartbreak and hookups. You know, like that's like most pop music is like heartbreak.
My 3D glasses broke at the theater.
Yeah. So there's no like real life stuff going on, and
pain. There's no pain.
Well, I think that's why you have so many like great musicians that were either abused when they were young. Like you get a lot of that stuff where it's like they have real genuine pain, or they were in abusive relationships or whatever. You know, those artists write really real stuff. But then, you know, most pop songs are like you haven't even really had a real long relationship, and they're talking about heartbreak and love, and they've never lived alone, you know. But like so, you know, I guess that's like part of like the resistance stuff that we were talking about earlier. It's like, okay, well, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that. Like I shouldn't be like
doubt.
Yeah, no, it's all self-doubt. Yeah. And then I guess like in order to like, honestly, dude, I think jiu-jitsu had a big part to do with it. Like being able to like, you know, feel a little more confident in my skin, you know, like, and now I've been doing jiu-jitsu about 3 years, like March will be like 3 years. And I was going to just keep all the music to myself, and I was just going to like do it for fun and like keep sharpening the iron.
This is scary. You're literally putting yourself out there.
Dude, posting something on a TikTok or Instagram, because it's not like I'm like showing my weight loss transformation, you know, like I would get tons of likes from like, or not right now, but like, you know, 5 years ago, I was like in very good shape. I was in very like good, like I, like, you know, had abs, all that stuff. Yeah. You know, But I also had like a very fat photo. Like I had a lot of like really like,
Right.
not in good shape photos.
And it was low hanging fruit if you wanted to put it out there.
Yeah. So it's like
I need likes.
Yeah, basically.
You went the scary route, man.
But way more scary than that. It's like I'd rather like take my shirt off and show you like that compared to like this is what I feel on the inside. Like this is how
Wow, that's a great
deep and emotionally
comparison.
like because like now when the kids on TikTok are like this sucks, go hang it up, like fucking you're awful, it's cringe, like you go like maybe they're right. Like maybe they're right and I should just kind of keep this to myself. And then it's like but then like someone like you will come over and be like, dude, I saw it, like your song came up on my feed and I got so much out of it. It's so great. I think you're doing so much like so great. Like all that positive.
Good impression.
Well, I mean like it's like you gave me a lot of positive encouragement and like so
I believe it, man. Say what you mean what you say. Like words are free. Like I literally tell this to my Israeli stoic militant father. I'm like, words are free. Like they think if given credit, you may like diminish the drive or ambition in front of somebody and they might get complacent. But I'm like, that can be fuel for somebody. Like say there's a kid who's like didn't make the cut. Michael Jordan, for example, right? Didn't he get cut from 9th or 10th grade basketball?
Yeah.
He's the freaking greatest of all time, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the last picks of the draft, had to like just get lucky to get in on the field. Turns out to be the greatest quarterback of all time. It's like
Of all time.
that chance, it's there. But beforehand, they need to be confident. They need to believe in themselves. And if they don't get to that step to get to the chance, it's like it can all crumble down. So it's like words are free. Why not? If you see something, say something. If there is a bag under the table, say something. But if you see somebody doing something exceptionally talented and just beautiful artistry, why not? Why not? And it's like, dude, it makes me feel good that some people, I heard this, like, take a gift. Even if you don't need the gift from somebody, take it because it will make that person feel good. Like, it made me feel good giving you the compliment. And turns out I see you recording again. The switch is
Literally.
back on. Like, let's fucking go, man. So it's like, words are free, people. Give credit where credit is due. Okay, I'm not gonna say just like, hey Johnny, you did a great job climbing the playground, and like always that's too much. That's too much.
Right.
Those guys become financial bakers because they think they could do anything. They steal all our money on Wall Street, but too much confidence. But give credit where credit is due, and you know what? You can 1% on a naval ship or a cruise ship. Can change the trajectory of somebody completely. So it's like when you're on, I was about to say MTV, that would have been bad. When you're on some big YouTube music platform, man, it's like you never know where that 1% can go.
Yeah. Well, I think that's applicable for anything, right? Like it seems like when like in life, like people just I've had a hard time with acclimating to like regular adulthood, like get a job, buy a house, go through the motions. Like that's always been a challenge for me because 90% of like is I always want to like have a job that I love doing. Like I want to do work that's creative. I want to do work that's in like that I can be passionate about. So owning a gym was like great for me because I did a lot of personal training. I got to work with a lot of people one-on-one. I got to see people transform their lives. That was like that, like, it's like that same type of like you're motivated by the people that are motivated by you because you're seeing them get better and taking the advice and like getting fit and like they're thankful.
That's probably one of the biggest growing spots of like motivation and saying the right thing to the right people and pushing them past boundaries that they didn't think they could pass by. So you've probably seen that firsthand.
People are so like the self-doubt is like one of the most crippling things I think anyone can experience. And I think it's so much more prevalent in people than we even realize. And I think that like the average person, it's like just even like with like giving someone a compliment, like we live in a world where it's just too easy to like knock someone down. And like that's the things that people are looking for. That's why posting things on the internet.
I always say easier to critique than create. And it's cheap. It's cheap. People will love to like tear you down, on a faceless avatar on social media
Mm-hmm.
because it's easier, you know?
Yeah. So just to be able to like one of the things I learned, I guess, coaching people was to like help them find the wins, like help them see what the positives are. Because like even in CrossFit, when I was coaching CrossFit, like it's competitive. So like you're timing yourself. So there's always a score like involved in it. So it's not just like go in and do like a really hard workout. It's like go in, do a really hard workout and see where you're ranked. So people get pretty like down on themselves if like they weren't competitive with other people in the classes or like their friends on the other side of the country. And it was, I tried to always like focus them in on like what movements went better for you than they did in the past. Like, what are you getting out of this? Like, what would you have been doing otherwise? Like, just like, because I feel like learning how to reframe our thoughts is like a skill that is never really taught. It's definitely not taught in school. And then you become an adult and all of a sudden like you're in therapy every fucking week because like you can't organize your thoughts in like a non-destructive pattern. And I'm not talking from experience or anything, but so like reframing thoughts and like being able to like find that like internally, like, but sometimes it's hard. And then like, someone like yourself comes along and gives you a couple compliments. You're like, you know what? I only need like people like 1 million records is like, I don't need to sell 1 million records. But the point being that like 1 million people buying one record is like a less than 1% of the globe,
Wow.
Like there's billions of people on the planet. I don't do math well, but 1 million I know is a very low percentage of a billion, right? What is it? There's a 100,000 millions or is it 1,000 millions?
Oh God. So wait, so 100.
What's a million of a billion? What's
a million of a billion is 1%?
Is it 1%?
I'm guessing.
That would mean that there's 100 millions in a billion.
Hundreds.
No, there's 1,000
no, wait,
millions.
it's 0.1% is a million?
Yeah, so think about that. There's more than 1 billion people.
So 0.1 divided by 8.
Yeah, like you really don't
That's
need
0.0012, I believe.
Like if 100,000 people bought an album, like you're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
But like just the point being this, that like there's probably exponentially more hate out there than like.
Yeah,
for almost anything.
I think it will happen though. You ever think that like things are happening and shifting, and the bridge is lining up across the canyon for you to cross at certain times for some weird reason? Like
things
dude,
are happening.
The world needs your lyrics.
The world needs something.
Don't get shot.
I don't
please.
know. I
don't
know
get
if it's
shot.
my
We need
lyrics
you.
that the world needs. I think that I need my lyrics. Like I think I need that for like my own personal development. That's been like my outlet for
Such an artist comment. Yes, you need.
Well, because
the world needs you too, man.
Maybe it
You're
remains
speaking
to,
the truth.
it remains to be
You're
seen.
calling people out.
Well, that's true.
Well, this is where we're going to listen. Can I do a throw
Sure.
to Dearly? Set it up. What are we about to hear?
Okay, so I guess if we're listening to Dearly Departed, this song is about.
Guess it's about to happen.
What's up? Are we gonna listen to it live,
or
are you just gonna like drop it in post?
This is not recorded live.
Okay.
So what are we about to hear on the post then?
So
I mean, that's happening right now.
Dearly Departed is about apocalyptic situations, specifically on Long Island. I use a lot of references about like Long Island stuff. And it's just kind of like, as I looked at everything over the last, like, I don't know, 15 years, really, since like Hurricane Sandy, is when I realized, like, man, if things go south here, like, we're trapped. Like, there's 3 ways out of here, and they're all on bridges or a boat. So if we were in like a real life apocalypse situation, like I Am Legend, and they fucking nuke the bridges, like, we're trapped, And so Dearly Departed is about how, like, on a desert island, I guess we would not last very long. Things get unfriendly very quickly here when we're in Armageddon situations.
Here it is.
This is now being called an extinction level event. Impact is imminent. May God have mercy on us all.
line of psych centers and diners. Summer properties, lazy boy recliners. Drove to skip town, they forgot to invite us. Are those victory bells or the ringing of tinnitus? Hats off to you, cause you pulled yourself together. Took a little bit of effort and a lot of bit of pampering. All better now since you stopped the trembling with a double dose of benzos. Back for second helpings. Oh. Okay, difficult conversation, don't you know? Scared folks, scaring folks, pound chicken overdose, maybe a little empathy. So it goes, turn off the old player piano. Let's sit together, pass the remote control. Blanket mistrust of friends and neighbors, so you better be on your best behavior. With all due respect for the dearly departed, have your grievances amongst yourselves, go get it started. With all due respect for the dearly departed, have your grievances amongst yourselves, go get it started. It's like a common denominator that follows you around, an underlying embarrassment, albatross anchored into the ground. Rush hour commuter, shots up to Dayton fully neutered. Catharsis regardless, with not so distant memories to haunt us. Bang your head against a brick wall. No blood, no guts, no harm, no foul call. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps, that's all. Numb yourself to sleep with porn and alcohol. Works well enough for the rest of us, kiddo. Worth the quiz grade, so complete the ditto. Molotov cocktail to cap the night. Here's to the world that we left behind. What a time to be alive. Doomsday prepper, hashtag survive. Hashtag Sandy, hashtag gas line. I know who you get when disaster strikes. Just a few hooligans holding down the fort with an AR-15, all quiet on the North Fork. Over and out, that's all to report. All in a day's work with world-class support. With all due respect for the dearly departed, have your grievances amongst yourselves, go get it started. With all due respect for the dearly departed, have your grievances amongst yourselves, go get it started. Apocalypse, it's the apocalypse. It's the end of days, they're upon us. No more endo, gin and juice, just hellfire, brimstone, woe unto you. Dystopian prophet shouting, looks like the current's got a hold of you. Better stay in here close to shore, lifeguards off duty, what's the last resort? With all due respect for the dearly departed, have your grievances amongst yourselves, go get it started. With all due respect for the dearly departed, have your grievances amongst yourselves.
I feel like that was a bad introduction.
Not apocalyptic, Long Island, hard lyrics. My version was like Mad Max. Like you scared the. I would go, yeah, you know, it was like I've stopped token and choking. I'm still choking, but I stopped the token part of it. I was like, dude, that would get me paranoid, man. You ever hear Rogan when he's like, I can't go to sleep because I'm thinking about war and stuff? It's like, where the hell did you like muster up the courage to put out content like that? You talked about like, hey, it would have been easier to put a picture of you with no clothes on, half naked on social media, but this was harder. Where the hell did the chutzpah, the fuck it mentality come from to just put it out there?
Man, you know what? I think a big part of it is Matt Serra. Like, I think that he's changed my life just being around him. But like, he always calls me Jerm. He's called me Jerm basically since I joined the academy, and like he started following me on social media and started calling me Jerm, and he always brings up my music, and I'm like, this is the one thing the most famous person in the world the most famous person that I know in the world knows about me. So I'm like, he knows a lot of people, he's got a lot of things going on, but if it's enough to penetrate his, like, what he knows about me, everyone posts shit on social media, like, you know, but like, that's the thing he knows about me. And so to me, that I found that super encouraging, and I just kind of went like, you know what, if someone like Matt is like seeing what I do, liking it, bringing it up to me, like, you know, he's not making fun of me, he's telling me how he thinks what I do is great and that I should keep doing it. Well, I also think if I had had more positive male figures in my life when I was younger, that like, because in my head that like going up to someone like Matt and being like, oh, I decided to just give it up, be like, what do you mean? Like, no, you don't just give up. That's not part of the equation. Like, you know, you rethink it. You go back, you tap out,
right?
But you don't quit, right? So I think that like him recognizing, like just him like calling me Jerm and stuff, just maybe go like, you know what, I'm just gonna put this out, and you know, like all the songs I've been doing, like Dearly Departed was the second like music video I put together. Villainer was the first one, and like there's a big jump in like my ability to like edit over between those two videos. So it's like
I'm sure, man. Your editing was incredible.
Thank you.
And the what would you call it? The not costume, but what would you like? The hat, the gear that you had on.
So no, I get that was all B-roll. So like that stuff I get from a website. So I take that and I just use what I'm I go to a website and I'll use it's like artgrid.com.
Needless to say, it was woven together beautifully. That I was like, yo, where the hell did he film this thing? I was like,
no, I would love to film it all myself, but like it's similar to like the music. Like so like I go through producers to find the music that I want to use so that I don't have to write it. Like I mean, the producers I find and that I work with are like significantly better at creating the music. And so all I really want to do is sing and rhyme. And so like, and that's the thing, like 20 years ago, like we didn't have that opportunity. Like there wasn't like dudes in like freaking like Norway writing songs that are like epic. It's like, oh, dude, this is perfect. You had to meet people. You had to like go and start a band, and like you had to hope that you could all meet together for like an hour once a week or twice a week to be able to write. And like maybe if you got through like a song and then you get to be like 25, 30 years old, like, and people start having kids, like now getting an album done is like, you know, you could do it, but like once people have kids, that's the end of it. That's the end of their music career usually.
Good thing I'm not a musician because Jeremy, Mr. Massa, on his way down to the studio, while driving in and then commuting to the city studio, he was stepping over toys. There was like croutons on the floor. It was like a bomb went off. It would have been fitting for Dearly Departed. He goes, is he trying to do a set here? Am I trying to do a live performance? Like, yeah. So it gets tough with kids, needless to say.
Yeah. So, so to
I will
put
test
that
your
stuff
attention
out,
span.
Yeah, no, we were talking about putting the courage to put stuff out. But I think like I was saying before, like I think martial arts, because like getting into the gym, like pretty much changed my life a lot to like start getting confident and like start trying new stuff. Like, and like when I got into CrossFit, that like changed a lot for me. But the changes that have happened since starting jiu-jitsu are like completely different. Like it's just a completely different like I almost don't feel like I need to prove myself, which is something that was like a big thing like doing CrossFit was like I constantly felt like everything had to be like a personal record. Like it had to be something new and more and more and more. Whereas I think that, and part of that is like it's a race. But with jiu-jitsu, it's competitive, but you're immediately aware that like you can't win this race. Like no matter how long you stay in jiu-jitsu, like there's always going to be someone way better than you somewhere, and someone who's been more experienced, someone who's going to be able to like, you know, just take apart anything that you have to show them, you know, like, and that's sort of like real life, like. But it doesn't change the fact that I need to go and train and learn and like recognize my own growth within it also. Because it's easy to like be like, oh, I suck. I fucking like I'm too old for this. I started too late in life. Like, but like when I look around at other 43-year-olds or like think about like that my grandfather by the time he was 50 was like out of work, like disabled, like on permanent disability, just collecting unemployment because he couldn't go to work because didn't take care of himself, you know, and it has basically spent the last 40 years of his life like just sitting at home. Like those are my genetics, you know, like those are the things that like if I follow a similar lifestyle, that's how it's going to end. You know, anything could happen. I could get ill and not and end up in a similar situation, but exercise, food, all that stuff, you know, you're hedging your bets against it. So I think that that's been a big motivating factor for me is staying, you know, above ground, I guess.
A great quote I heard from the former UFC legend, or he is a UFC legend, but former UFC champion, BJ Penn, was that if somebody handed you a car at 18 years old and said, this is the car for the rest of your life, you're like, whoa, what do you mean? It's like you would maintain that car because you realize the importance of it. People don't treat their bodies like that. Like you get one flesh and bone thing that you walk around this earth, and people don't treat it like it's their last body. Like there's some, like, unless everybody believes in reincarnation, I doubt it. But it's like people do not fuel their body correctly, and it's like, yeah, I had cookies today. Yeah, I had cake over the weekend, but it's like, big picture, if you can stay consistent, it's like you can break the mold of a previous generation.
Yeah, well, it's the whole nature and nurture thing. Like, you have your genetics. Like, we all have our genetics, and they're all going to play out the way they're going to play out. But we can influence our genetics with our choices. So if I choose to, like, get up and go jogging 2 or 3 days a week, and then go to jiu-jitsu 3 or 4 days a week, and eat pretty clean, I can get away with eating ice cream. I can get away with, enjoying myself on the weekend, food-wise. But dude, I had Taco Bell like twice last weekend. I have never felt so bad. My stomach was destroyed. I was like, that was like my bottom. I was like, dude, you really got to get your shit together.
It's like putting like 79 rated fuel into like a Ferrari. And it's like, that thing is going to honk and conk and just like sputter around. Like, I'm sure you were doing some different painting, dude, in your bathroom.
I don't know how, but I also remember a time before I ever did a paleo diet or ever did any like carnivore diet or any sort of like keto diet. Like, that's how I ate every day. I ate Taco Bell and ice cream almost every day and felt like shit for years, but I had no idea that like so much of it was coming from the food, and then you reintroduce something like Taco Bell or Wendy's or something like that. And like, basically I don't eat fast food except for like if I'm on like a long road trip. But then I was like, yeah, fuck, I'm gonna get some Taco Bell. And then I did it again. The first time I was like, my stomach feels. But then the second day I was like, so now I'm like, okay, I need to reevaluate like my food choices because I'm letting myself get away with too much.
That's good. Accountability, man. Accountability. Not enough people do it. I think they lean too much on the medical system that, like, if I fall flat on my face, I could walk in tomorrow with somebody with the lab coat and they're going to tell me to do this. And it's like, meanwhile...
it's not going to even work.
No!
I think that's the bigger problem is that the faith in the medical system is far too high.
It was very much exposed in these last 3 years.
If you have half a brain, it was exposed, but like 90% of people, I don't know if that's a fair number, but like the fact is that like people still trust the medical system implicitly.
Yeah.
And the government, which is like, what the fuck?
I agree, man. It's wild times.
Yo. It's
still wild.
It's so wild because like pre-2020, it was like it seemed like no one really trusted the government. Like, but then like it happened, and like there was like half the people were like diehard government media trusting, and like the other half were like, what?
It became who you voted for.
I don't know.
It literally became who you voted for, how you viewed your self-health.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But I think that's where it comes back to is like the self-health thing is like, yo, if I'm not responsible for my health, no one else is going to be. Like,
right.
And did you do martial arts your whole life?
19, 20 years old I started. It was a saving grace, man. Played sports, football, baseball, lacrosse, but martial arts is where it's like just different. Like you said, with your CrossFit thing, like it's amazing. The reward and the feedback from that, I got all that from ball sports, as I call it. But martial arts, just not even the community, just like the invisible spiritual that's connected to it. Like when you don't know somebody until you roll with them. It's just like all that anxiety that you walk in there when it's like, all right, guys, get your water, put in your mouthpiece. That's when it's like,
how's it gonna end?
Right. And if you guys aren't familiar with the common structure of like a jiu-jitsu school, it's 30 minutes instruction, and then 30 minutes rolling. And as you start to feel like, okay, this is the fourth move we're learning. Okay, we're wrapping it up. People are starting to fix their gear. People are starting to crack their bones. You're like, I hope I stretched enough. Like, you don't even pay attention to the fourth move because you start to think about the rolling and the sparring. And it's like, as soon as you get that first roll with this partner that you thought you knew for 30 minutes, and then it's like a relief, and you stand up, and it's like, okay, who's next? I'm next. Let's go. And you connect, and it's like, it's just an amazing, amazing, amazing experience. And it brings so much joy to my heart when I hear like people like Guy Ritchie or Demi Lovato, and in the striking arts like Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa, they're just saying that there's nothing like it. It's Dana White simplifies it by saying if you look at like a quadrant and there's soccer, baseball, basketball going on, but then a fight breaks out in the fourth, everybody's looking at the fight. That's promo speak. But the thing is, why do we look at the fight? It's something in our DNA, and it's like when we know we can defend ourselves, that if that fight scrapped out, we're calm and cool in the storm. There's something about that is empowering. It's like my life started to change. No more virginity, more hanging out with the opposite sex, more career changes, more career growth as the jiu-jitsu journey started. And it's like, it was all connected, the confidence, man. It's like, yeah, been on the football team, been on the baseball team, but it was like martial art, there's no hiding. It's like, it's you versus them, and that's it. You can't blame the guy to your left, to your right. Can't blame the coach. It's incredible. That's the way I can sum it up. It's just simply incredible for me. Like, I think it affects everybody a little different, but I think we can agree that it's just clears our minds. It centers us. And I've realized that as I get older, that I need this. This is my drug of choice. And my wife sees that. She's constantly, you're going to train today, or you're going to train today. Because she knows that Dr. Hyde, whoever the Jekyll, whatever,
Right.
that's coming in 2 days if he doesn't break this the spiral. So it's, I mean, I think everybody that it pops in this the diner booth over here, they have a similar something that they can share of what martial arts has done for them. So it's incredible, man. I can't speak highly enough. Now I'm like too far down the martial arts road that it's like my family, they're just like, you're it's like some people for golf, right? Aren't people like, you got to play golf, and it's like they say it so much, they're like, ugh, I don't want to play golf at all now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do you ever be like, you gotta do jiu-jitsu, man? You gotta do, and they're like, you've been doing it for so long. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I tell my family and friends about it, but like I've been someone who's gotten into things throughout most of my life. Like I'm always looking for something that's gonna preoccupy me and kind of like take up my attention and like help me to concentrate a little bit more. And like, whether it was like partying or like music or religion for a while or CrossFit for a while. So like having like new obsessions is like kind of like not foreign to me. So like, but even like with jiu-jitsu specifically, it's like I try not to like I talk about it with people who want to hear about it, but I still recommend it to people. But it's like when I was doing CrossFit, the people that would do the best in CrossFit were people who wrestled, and it's true for almost any sport that like if you wrestled in high school, you're going to
not basketball. I've seen some wrestlers play basketball.
Yeah, but you're not going to bully them,
Dude, that's what they were saying. They're like, you're too rough.
Like
the
you're not going
rebounds.
to back them up into the boards,
Yes,
like
good point.
You might back them up one time and then they're going to be like, try it again.
Exactly.
But like, it's just that like that toughness that comes from the grind of wrestling practice. And also I think that comes from like knowing that like, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to beat me up? Let's go. Beat me up. Like regardless, win, lose, or draw, people who wrestled and people who have a martial arts background are like, let's find out.
Right.
The
Dan Severn mindset.
Right. But like, and obviously like on the day to day, like regular guys who are going to work and stuff, like you're thinking about it. Right. But like, it doesn't happen. but like it's like you were talking about earlier with confidence and like going into the work world, like what's the worst that can happen if I ask for this raise? He's not going to try to choke me. And if he does, I've got a good chance.
Dude, this is crazy. I talk about this all the time. My wife, she has somebody who they would go out for these like weekly company dinners, nothing like fancy, but like a burger joint or a taco or sushi joint. And it was somebody else's turn to put down their card. And she put down her card, and she's an introvert. She's very quiet, doesn't ask for raises. Somebody out of the 8 never paid her the $30 from the burger, and she was very shy to like, hey, can you pay me the money that I front? For her, months went by. And my wife, this is why I believe I'm attracted to her, because she's completely opposite. The whole like slaps you in the back of the head, like, go do it. Like she goes to her coworker, brings her to the coworker that didn't pay and says, hey, you owe her $32 for the burger. And the coworker, oh, my mistake. Like, I completely forgot. But, like, that person, the introvert, makes the whole, like, scenario in her head. Oh, my God, like, why can't people just notice things? And it's like, some people aren't, I don't know, we're not all wired the same.
No.
And it's like, I feel like we're very similar, that we just want everybody to just be present, notice the words you say. Because I used to be very lazy with my communication in the back, very lazy. And you just say these things, just off-brand, doesn't make sense, just lazy comments. And then as I'm getting real confidence and becoming really self-aware and growing up and maturing, you realize, oh, you're like, I was a little shit who didn't respect people, respect authority, understand that 20-year grind is means something in business. And it's like, not enough people have those reconciliation moments, you know, like where it's like, oh, I need to pay attention. Because you mentioned not having a strong father or a male figure in your life. My father, man, he would just tank over any feelings. Like, hey, Papa. He does this. He goes, hey, why don't you make me a card? You know, it'd be nice for my birthday. I remember I was 14. Why don't you make me a card for my birthday? That would be special. He must have like saw it on the Home Shopping Network or something. Like that's the age it was. We get shells. We get like sticks. Like me and my brother make the card. Never opened it, and it like trampled our feelings. And it's like some people, they need to be aware how they can affect people around them, whether it's giving credit to the people that deserve it, or just at least not trampling on the flowers that people are trying to grow. This is a very, very layered and deep conversation. Can you grab the baton? I'm trying to. I've having the opposite mindset wife. I've taught her that like you have to say please. Don't shout to get like, don't demand something. You have to add the word please, and it's like a whole rewiring of the way people communicate. And it's just, I think we've gotten too far with not holding people accountable. And David Goggins says, for the people that you love the most, you need to tell them, hey, you're out of shape. You haven't dated in years. You're spiraling. And that the craziest part, probably we can relate, it's probably the hardest thing to tell the people that are closest to you, hey, you're kind of fucking up. I fucked up. I'm fucking up. I'm working on it. But are you aware that you need to work on your problems? Mic drop.
Well, I think it's the people that are closest, it's particularly family, it's like they're just either not going to listen or like it's like too close. Like familiarity breeds contempt. It's a friend of mine used to say that all the time. And it's like the closer you are to somebody, the more time you spend with them, the longer they're around. You kind of like get to know their bullshit, and it's like
and you accept it.
Yeah, but also like you know that like they're probably not going to change. Is like, you know, like I'm not gonna.
Are we giving up on them? You sound like other people. Like, dude, that's who they are. Stop trying to change your father. Stop trying to change loved ones and family members. Just that's how they're. And I don't believe that.
I'm not going to take it personally when I bring up
So
a good solution.
You're a little further than me,
and
then.
they ignore it.
You're a little further than me down the road.
But
then.
I'm also not going to like put a lot of energy into it because I guess in my
I've
life,
gotten sick over
I've
putting too much
experienced
energy.
Well, I've experienced that, like, when I'm willing to change, when the pain is great enough, like, that's when things happen. But, you know, you could tell me all day long, like, oh, you're eating too much Taco Bell. And I'm like, maybe you're right, but it's delicious. But then when I get, like, a weekend where, like, my stomach is destroyed and I can't go to jujitsu because if someone neon bellies me, we're going to have a really bad day. You know, like, then it's like, okay, I'm going to, like, start to think how I eat differently again.
And I guarantee you, the ego part of it, they're not going to give you credit. Be like, dude, you were right about that Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
No.
It's they need to find it for themselves. And similarly, so do I. You know, like, and that's how I know, like, okay, like, but when you have, like, your training partners, like, and you're, like, Andrew Tate talks about it all the time, like, you know, like, your boys. Like, he talks a lot about having boys. And, holding them accountable, like you know, they're overeating, whatever, like not training, whatever those things are, because it's not because it's like it should demoralize or demean somebody to not do those things. It's because we know how positive doing those things are. It doesn't make you a bad person to not exercise. It makes you a happier and better person when you do, even if it's a different, like, so whether it's Tai Chi or like Zumba or wrestling or jujitsu, physical activity is essential for happiness, for wellness. And so, you know, but it's also when you get depressed, when you get anxious, like those are the first things to go, you know?
Right. But meanwhile, during the height of the pandemic, gyms were closed and liquor stores were open because it was a coping. But meanwhile, it's like that's literally opposite thinking.
Yeah. I try not to think about it.
It hits me. I saw it. I took a picture of it. But then it's like you stare at that picture long and you're like, oh, wow. That's the way it was? That was the thinking?
Well, you don't want healthy and well people coalescing when you're trying to convince them that being around each other will kill them. Because they'll realize quickly, like, hey, none of us are dying or getting sick.
Right.
I think one of the things that because like when I had my gym, we were wearing masks every day, like during training and like doing CrossFit, high intensity exercise, people had their masks on, like pretty legit, covering their face, like not doing that bullshit. And because no one wanted to get anyone else sick. And like, we really didn't know the first bunch of months of being back open. Like, and then I went to Sarah's and no one had masks on. And I was like, oh, well, I guess this is how it's going. Like, and it made me go like, maybe like, it's like, I don't know. I hadn't worn a mask since then. You know, and I don't think I got a cold even.
That's what happened with me. It was a Sarah experience. I was just showing up to the classes, but not participating, picking up some weights on the sides while the classes were going, and I'm wearing a mask, so you could only imagine the looks. And then I was like, you know what? I've been on the mats in a while. I was like, I want to get on the mats. I went through the whole the teaching process, the first 30 minutes of the class with the mask on. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, I was like, you know what, I'm going to roll with it. And I'm the only one out of, maybe it's like 30 to 40 people on the mat. And it literally, the first move comes off, and I'm like, all right, we're here. And I'm like, all right.
Did you feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Total Recall?
What reference? When they like
the
change
mask breaks and like he has like all the pressure starts to suck his face out.
Yeah. For like as split of a second as you could cut, because it was like, yeah, like all those, and it was like, we're here.
Yeah.
One of those.
Eat clean, exercise, get some vitamin D. it's like so much of my life is influenced by Joe Rogan, and like he was like adamant about the vitamin D stuff throughout all of that stuff, but like even the War of Art I found through Joe Rogan. Like he talks about that. And Stephen Pressfield was on the show a bunch. He talks about gifting it even like, and so like anytime I talk to somebody who like hasn't read it, I like to gift it because it's a really great book. It's short, it's easy to read. It's like all like these little snippets. But like if you do any type of creative work or business owner or have any type of thing where anything where self-regulation, I guess you could say, or like self-motivation is part of the equation. Like no one's looking over your shoulder and saying, did you, whatever. It's applicable because it's always those like background noises in the head that stop us from sitting down and do the work that we know we need to do. And what reading that has done for me is like it just gives you like awareness of it. Like you go like, oh, I'm 100% like just neglecting knowing that I want to have these songs written, or I want to have these websites built, or I want to have these videos made, but instead I'm whatever, And then also learning how to like kind of like put those things into compartments. Like, am I actually like overtraining? Am I putting too much stock into like jujitsu training when I have all this other stuff going on? Or like, am I doing too much with my music when I have to like worry about actually building my business again? Like, like some level of self-honesty and awareness, and like, am I actually procrastinating or am I busy? Like sometimes there are things going on and you can't get to the like learning how to be honest with yourself, I guess.
Wow. Because if I'm not recording consistently on the octagons, it's like I'm like have that self-talk like, you piece of shit, what are you doing? You wrote this thing in January 1st and you're not going to make that threshold number that you set for yourself. What are you doing? And it's like, hold on. Am I actually busy or am I procrastinating? And it's sometimes it could be one or the other. It could change like from month to month. So sold.
Yeah, it's like one of those books where like it's like each chapter is like one or two of the pages, so like it's easy like to keep it in the bathroom or whatever, or like I keep a copy of it still in my backpack because I like to like take it out and kind of like use it as like a meditation, almost like a daily meditation kind of thing. It's not
is there
that
any
long.
Passage that we're gonna turn into like
Dude,
Mr. Rogers here? Is there any passage you want to read?
You flip through it and open it. It's gonna have something meaty worth thinking about.
You got a great voice. Can you? Can we just flip through it and I'll pick a page. Well, that's a good start to
between How to Be Miserable or We're All Pros Already. Which one do you prefer? Let's do We're All Pros.
I was just gonna say
all of us are pros in one area, our jobs. We get a paycheck. We work for money. We are professionals. Now, are these principles we can take from what we're already successfully doing in our workday life and apply to our artistic aspirations? What exactly are the qualities that define us as professionals? 1, we show up every day. We might do it only because we have to keep from getting fired, but we do it. We show up every day. 2, we show up no matter what. In sickness and in health, come hell or high water, we stagger into the factory. We might do it only so as not to let down our coworkers or for other less noble reasons, but we do it. We show up no matter what. 3, we stay on the job all day. Our minds may wander, but our bodies remain at the wheel. We pick up the phone when it rings. We assist the customer when he seeks our help. We don't go home until the whistle blows. Oh man, this is a long one. This is like 4 pages. I don't want to read through it.
So what are they normally? Like these are like little scenarios like or mindsets?
Usually, most of them are like one page. Hold on, let's go.
So you can randomly just pop around?
Yeah. Oh, resistance and victimhood. Doctors estimate that 70 to 80% of their business is non-health related. People aren't sick, they're self-dramatizing. Sometimes the hardest part of a medical job is keeping a straight face. As Jerry Seinfeld observed of his 20 years of dating, that's a lot of acting fascinated. The acquisition of a condition lends significance to one's existence. an illness, a cross to bear. Some people go from condition to condition. They cure one and another pops up to take its place. The condition becomes a work of art in itself, a shadow version of the real creative act the victim is avoiding by expending so much care cultivating his condition. A victim act is a form of passive aggression. He's heavy. It seeks to achieve gratification not by honest work or a contribution made out of one's experience or insight or love, but by the manipulation of others through silent and not so silent threat. The victim compels others to come to his rescue or to behave as he wishes by holding them hostage to the prospect of his own further illness, meltdown, mental dissolution, or simply by threatening to make their lives so miserable that they do what he wants.
Holy shit.
Casting yourself as a victim is the antithesis of doing your work. Don't do it. If you're doing it, stop.
Wow.
You know, and it's like,
do you have somebody in mind, like in your circle?
I mean, I can definitely relate to it, you know, from definitely having mental health issues and like getting diagnosed with things and then going like, okay, well, how powerful is this? Like, what does that really mean to have depression or bipolar or ADD? And like, you go like, okay, well, do I have all of these things? Is it possible to have all those things? Like, how much will I allow that to influence whether or not I get out of it? Like, you know, there was a long period in my life where I'd spend days or weeks in bed. Like, I'd get up to go to the bathroom and like, that was it, you know, like I didn't leave, you know, I was in my room or just depressed or whatever. And, you know, like, because I was told like, oh, you have depression, you know, like, so you can't control this. But I think a big part of why I ended up starting to get into fitness and like nutrition was trying to work through the depression, you know, trying to like not need medication. And then like throughout life going like, okay, well, maybe I do need some medication, but like I need to like do that so that I can be productive. Like if all these boxes aren't getting checked, like what's the thing that's missing? If I am eating good, exercising, you know, and I'm still suffering with depression or anxiety or mania, like what needs to change? And then usually it's some type of medication. I've been, you know, in and out of that kind of stuff. But like what he's talking about is like taking those things and running with it. Like, oh, I can't write today because I'm depressed. Like, yeah, those things happen. Like there are definitely days where like I'll be like, you know what, just banging in today.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I wouldn't say it's a pull you up by the bootstrap type of writing that he's formulating, but it's like, hey, are you being self-aware? You know, it's like because you're making the people around you suffer, and that's too much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and you know what? We're flowing. I don't know if they'll even listen this far into the podcast, but family, they the movies when like the portal closes and like a Doctor Strange and they're like the bad guys like like they're trying to grab onto the last thing and they grab like a mailbox or something, like or they grab like the crown on the princess or something. It's like that can be what depression is. And it's like the craziest part, I love how Duncan Trussell laid this out when he joined Lex Friedman. It might have been like a north of 3 or 4 hour conversation. He talked about like people who are depressed, being in depression, you can't see it. It's nothing you can taste. It's nothing you can feel. My wife has spoken since our new babies have arrived that something has changed. Like, and I wouldn't self-pity, but I realize I've become aggressive with everything. Like, I want to be aggressive in training. I want to be aggressive in podcasting, aggressive on social media, on Twitter, which is like a Reddit, a more popular Reddit, and just aggressive. But it's like when you can take that step back, you realize like, oh, maybe people were shy to tell you, hey, buddy, you're being nuts right now. Because my biggest thing growing up was not punching holes in walls, like being that 16, 17-year-old that was angered. And martial art, as she says, like Let's avoid the spiral. Let's not go 3 days where you're like a bee in a jar. Let's center yourself. Because you come home and, hey, how's it going? Yada, yada, dee, yada. Like you're swinging around like light posts. Like everything is changed. And it's like, it can be that simple. But on the other side, the people who are not aggressive, it's scary because the victimhood, as Stephen Pressfield points out, the I can't carry your couch, I can't help you move, I can't because my back, and it's like, but you're still swinging it on the golf course 100 times or however many strokes are on a golf course.
Yeah, one of the most violent swings you could possibly
you know
do.
That. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, right. You got to know that probably from your gym background.
Oh my goodness! Like there's all kinds of things that can go wrong in a golf swing.
But my point is, it's like and like we said before, like it's fucking, I forget the quote you said, but it's hard to tell the person you love the most, like,
Familiarity breeds contempt.
And it's like it's tough, man. These are real life things that people are not addressing. Like, I know suicide is crazy, and that's when the rubber meets the road. That's the end of where we're leading. But there's so many steps before then that, like, let's avoid that.
Yeah.
Let's avoid that because it's too fucking late. It's too fucking late.
Yeah. There is like that nth degree of everything where it's like it just goes too far, or like it gets away from you, and you don't even realize. Like they talk about how to boil a frog.
I could barely boil an egg.
Yeah, so if you want to boil a frog, you have to do it slowly, because if you turn up the heat on the water immediately, it senses the change in temperature and jumps out. But because they're cold-blooded, if you start to crank it up slowly, their blood adjusts to the temperature with the water until it's boiling. And
You're making an analogy for depression?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't fucking know it.
Yeah.
Like the people don't
Exactly.
fucking know that they're in the boiling water.
Exactly, because it gets turned up slowly. It starts with like I'm not gonna fold my clothes today.
Right.
And then it's like the bills
Holy
aren't paid,
shit.
the clothes aren't folded. I haven't left the house in a month. No one knows where I am.
Or doing just enough to like show that like, oh, everything's all right.
Right.
Everything's all right.
Yeah. Just going through the motions.
Right.
Just going through the motions.
You're at the kid's
Bills are
birthday
paid.
party.
Yeah.
You're on the company Zoom, but it's like you're in the boiling water.
I mean, I definitely felt that way through the last probably going all the way up until 2020. And I think that a big part of not feeling that way now is writing music, doing jujitsu.
You're one of the few that changed 2020. A lot of people went in more. Like I always looked at the pandemic like, I wish I could eat whatever I want. I wish I could stay home and work. I wish I could just watch Netflix all day. Wish granted. And it's like, then you're like 30 days in, you're like, oh my God. And it's like,
Well,
you got better.
I think that like I got into what I could do alone. It was like writing music, making videos.
That's great.
Yeah. And so, but I think that probably what drove a lot of my depression for the like 15 years, because it's definitely a real thing. Like I'm not like minimizing people's depression or mental health issues.
No, I think you're shining a light on it.
I definitely have it. But like, what was I saying before that part? So like going into 2020, like being able to, like, I think that like repressing my creativity and being like, cause like even being a business owner and like owning a gym and like being like making marketing materials and like working on branding and stuff like that, like it's creative, but it wasn't like writing songs. It wasn't like writing lyrics and like just like digging into like absurd ideas and like being like, oh, I wonder if I can make this work.
It's not absurd. It's not absurd.
Yeah.
Remember The Dark Knight when the Joker's like, and this crazy clown, he's like, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm here to tell you that it's not absurd. It's not absurd.
So, I think that those things, like I like being a creator rather than a consumer, like I like, as much as I love movies and like a big, for me, entertainment, it's like right now, it's like, if it's not UFC, like I can't watch it. Like, and I don't know if that's just like, there was probably too much Netflix watching going into 2020. Honestly, like that's probably like in 2020 is when I stopped obsessively
crazy.
consuming. Yeah, because like sitting and staring at the TV is one of the most depressing things I can do for myself. Like it's just like I feel defeated almost immediately. It doesn't take much time for me to feel like I've just given up on life. And even if it's for like 10 or 15 minutes at night, which is probably not healthy, but like there's got to be a balance with it. But like if I do that for too long, or if I start to binge watch like a season of something, it like multiplies that
Spiraling.
aspect. Yeah. So for me, like I need to like, I think a big thing that's helped is writing lyrics, writing music, and like getting things out rather than taking them in. And then like for me, like consumption wise, you know, I think it's a lot of it is like, it's just related to UFC or like jujitsu. It's like I watch Chael Sonnen like constantly, like anytime I go to like eat, I'll put on YouTube. I'm not really like watching like I have to go to a
7-minute clip,
movie.
boom.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna watch a movie, I have to go to the movies, like and like have nowhere else to go for that 2 hours,
Right.
because like you know whether it's ADD or whatever.
Dude, these people that I was hinting at, like I dragged them to the movies. They haven't been since 2019. The funniest thing was like they saw Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker in 2019, and then the first movie that they've seen is Joaquin Phoenix again in Napoleon, and they were like,
How was that?
"Oh my god, like we're back here and it's Joaquin again." I was like, "What are you, Joaquin's biggest fan? He gets people to the movies, not Tom Cruise." Remember the whole like Maverick movement? Like we're bringing people back to the theaters. But anyway, Napoleon, I think I learning more about the business side of things. I grew up on The Matrix, got me into martial arts. The fucking Matrix. Like I was like, holy shit! Like this is amazing. Like I know kung fu, and it like fucking amazing. But as you get older and you see, oh my god, Matrix 4 is coming out. Like this is like a movie from my childhood. This is this is it. And then he looks like fucking John Wick in the movie, and you realize he's filming John Wick in the background. You're like, fuck this. That's the corporate side of things. Right. And the same thing with Napoleon. He looked like a fucking depressed Napoleon because he's filming Joker 2. I was like, what is Lady Gaga not remembering her lines? Like, what the fuck's going on? Why? Like, we want another war. Like, and I was like, dude,
Is that your Joaquin impression?
that's my Joaquin.
That was
Just
good.
like mundane. And like, I was like, that's Ridley Scott's better than that. I was like, maybe he's didn't want to get in Joaquin's head, but I said to my brother, I go, Tom Cruise would have been the perfect Napoleon. And you know what his response? Perfect. It was perfect. Because it was like, yeah, we fucking won. Sweaty, long hair, like we're playing with the boy. Like that Tom Cruise, fucking angry, victorious.
My favorite Tom Cruise is Tropic Thunder. Tom Cruise.
Right? Yes, that Napoleon. Exactly. That even better. Tom Cruise reference.
Where's the key grip?
Where's the fucking DVR? Or my client? No, that's McConaughey's my character. But Tom Cruise would never play Napoleon. I go, what do you mean? Why? He goes, because then that would be admitting he's short. And I go, oh, good fucking point. I go, he would never play Napoleon. But yeah. What are you? So what are you watching? What art are you consuming?
What art am I consuming? Oh, Gen V, the Generation V on Amazon.
Okay.
Okay. Did you watch The Boys?
I see clips from, but no, I don't watch seasons. I can't watch seasons.
And you're a comic book guy?
You talk about like sitting there and like, oh my god, like you start to fourth wall yourself. Like, what am I doing? I could watch a 2-hour movie. Can't binge.
Watch 2 episodes
Of The Boys.
Yeah,
It looks great because
it's amazing.
You guys know you need me, and Jesus Christ, I'm here to save you. Like I was like, holy shit! I go, this is a superhero show.
It's
It reminded me of like Frank Miller type of
dark
comic.
Dark Knight, the fucking Dark Knight Year One.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
But is that good? It doesn't look cheesy because it's an Amazon show. Like I was like, how are the graphics gonna look?
Dude, it is epic.
Really?
Epic.
Nobody's told me this.
That's crazy. To me.
My algorithm.
So
I see
you know what it is like it's like a realistic version of what superheroes would be like if they
The
were
Watchmen
real.
kind of.
Well, yes, but like like Superman would be a megalomaniac. He would be
Right.
a completely self-obsessed,
God.
basically God on Earth. And so Homelander is basically Superman, and basically it's
The blonde dude
yeah.
who has like the great speeches.
And,
I only
and
seen the clips. I only
he's like really the bad guy. Like he's like the all powerful, which is exactly what would happen. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
and it's basically mirrors like the Justice League.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, that's like Thomas Paine or something.
Oh, not you. I thought-
No, man. that's like fucking revolutionary America.
Not you. I thought that was nerdy Jerm on the mic.
No.
Then
No.
you got to get in a Thomas Paine quote then in the next music video. That's some fire stuff.
Well, there was a band in actually I get a lot of influence out of the late 90s Long Island hardcore bands. But this band Earthling Massive, he used to do like a speech before. It was like a spoken word poetry, and it was like the late 90s, so that's still cool. Now everyone does open mic stuff. And he would say, oh fuck, what was it? I forget what he said going into it, but he would
I
say
hate
like
that when it
absolute power
happens.
corrupts absolutely, and if you're like me, you're American and crazy. But like there was like a whole long.
I hate when that happens when you're like, hey, I'm about to tell you something that's
Yeah.
like impacting my thinking, and I don't remember it.
I don't remember the part,
You know, it's
like the
not-
setup for it.
Is that like a nerve thing that like happens in us? Like Rogan always talks about
Well,
like,
it's also been 20-something years since I heard him say it.
or that. Rogan always talks about like, why are we scared to stand up in front of crowds, public speak? People rather kill themselves than fucking speak in front of a crowd. And he attributes to that when you were speaking in front of the crowd, however many years ago, that now it's woven in our DNA. When you were speaking in front of a lot of people, is because you were on trial, or you were being persecuted for, or you did something wrong, and that's like woven into our DNA, like being afraid of the dark. And I was like, that's interesting. That's interesting, and it makes sense. You know, like if you just see these bunch of eyeballs looking at you, it's
Right, just like some fear of persecution.
Yeah, with everything, I quote Rogan. I'd say, according to Rogan, like, because that's all I bring up in conversation. People are like, all you watch is fighting. Everything with you is punch and kick. It's like my father can't stand it. He goes, you didn't hear with the news and the war and the news, and I go, what? I go by word of mouth. Like I literally live my news cycle word of mouth or weather. Somebody's like, the snow's coming. I go, oh, okay, good. Thanks for telling me. Like,
Yeah, same.
no way. No way.
I mean, I don't check the weather for anything.
You don't have the Citizens app getting notifications that there was a murder 2 blocks away from you. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
Dude, my brother has this app that tells him there was a stabbing 3 blocks when he lived in the city. And I go, that you're literally making it like you're putting yourself into this like neurotic mindset. Like,
You know, it seems like we are pretty separated from like the underside of reality, like murders, like that kind of stuff. Like we do a pretty good job of like
welcome back. We had murders in our last break. This time stabbings.
murders, stabbings,
Car crashes in our next segment.
yeah, like those are like all like things that like it seems like it's something that happens elsewhere, you know. But then when you have an app that says like, oh, someone got stabbed two blocks away from here.
Citizen app, check it out. It's fucking no, I've never seen it, but I mean like maybe YouTube but then it will fuck up your algorithm.
But I think that's part of the illusion of safety, is like that, like from the outside, like we believe that we're safe because of the government, because of the police, because of the laws in place. But like you walk down the wrong street and you get stabbed, or anywhere.
So are you saying that it's a worthy app?
I'm saying that we're not safe.
Oh shit.
Learn to swim.
What and I think this is connected. I was gonna say, what do you predict over the next 5 years with society? But then I was also going to ask, what pieces of art are you working on? But I feel like that's connected.
So art-wise, I mean, I just recorded a new song. It's about meteors hitting the Earth.
Music video done?
No, not yet. I like really just.
We are not going to
recorded-
drop that in.
No,
yet.
no, just the song. So that, and then me and Manimal are been doing a bunch of work.
Shout out to the
Yeah,
John
shout out.
Beneducci.
And so he's got me doing some stuff. I'm doing a lot with him. With like he's got like some stuff like some comic stuff, like some over 40 grappler stuff.
Okay.
He's really funny, man.
Naturally.
Yeah. And super just super interesting. You know, he just knows so much about
Well read.
really weird stuff too.
New
Like,
York's Rogan.
he really could be. He's got a lot of
Oh my God! You ask him about the Renaissance, he'll go on. You ask him about taxes, he'll go on.
yeah, it's
I'm like, dude, I'm literally in a bubble.
The Norse mythology stuff is my favorite stuff that he talks about because he's so detailed with it, and he's got a really broad background in spirituality and religion. Very interesting stuff. So I've been doing that stuff with him.
Yeah, you guys have been churning out content. I love your edit. Obviously, I love the different sides of editing that you could do. I'm like a novice compared to your level of editing, but I love how the way you've edited live sports matches like a Token Choke, or the way you've edited podcasts like the Token Choke podcast.
That's actually AI.
Oh,
So yeah, the podcast.
Really?
I just run that right through an AI.
what?
Yeah.
What website?
Opusclips.ai.
Opusclips.ai.
Shout out to
I'm
Opus
gonna
Clips.
try that out. So what the hell? What do you mean?
Yeah.
You put like
Dude,
clip?
you
put the-
upload your YouTube video, and it clips it out to
even if it's 30 minutes. let's say.
the 60 minutes, and it clips it down. So
Do
we
you
got
write a
like,
topic like or anything, or
no,
makes...
it goes through it like, and it like listens, and it like clips it out, and it edits it to make so like those videos are just the 3 or 4 people. It's a single shot, and it edits
Wait,
it. Yeah,
you didn't do that?
no.
Oh my God,
No, that I didn't do.
that is next level,
Yeah, that's how you know like you're actually in trouble.
dude. I was just gonna say, I told everybody I can talk to, if you're in a job that you believe a robot can do it, get out. I thought video editing was safe.
No.
Oh
You know
my
what?
God.
That's what I think everyone thought. Like the creative side was what was safe. It was going to
Did you
be
hear the Post Malone?
no. It's like a AI singing for
Dude,
him.
he's saying the future. This shit's gonna happen. That if you plug your name in, Jeremy loves Chachi or Joni, whatever. I missed the joke there. Jeremy loves Nicole, and you plug those in. He is then singing Jeremy, like in Post Malone's lyrics, like, and Nicole, like in his lyrics, and you're in the song now. It's about you. It's fucking individualized. He goes, that's going to happen.
Yeah, that's not far off. I mean, have you seen like on YouTube or Facebook, or I see them on TikTok ads that are like Joe Rogan talking, and it's definitely his voice.
The Iron Neck I've seen.
No, that's
Oh.
probably actually him.
Oh.
But like it's like boner pills. It's like and it's like they put the captions right over his mouth so you can't tell that it's an AI.
Ah, smart.
But like it's definitely an AI voice, but it'll say things like apparently it works. Like which is like it's a very Joe Rogan thing to say.
Yes.
Like and they do like it's savvy the way that they're using it to make
And it
like,
doesn't sound like what do you call it? The inflections are too. It's pretty.
Yeah, I don't
What would you
know
give it? Like 80% accurate? 85?
It's high. It's close to 100.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds like him.
I've heard about the Obama. They had Obama saying something. They had the Mona Lisa like talking, like
I haven't heard that.
getting crazy.
Well, yeah, no. So that's like the thing that's like unnerving about it is that like you can produce anything that you want. You can have people saying whatever you think you want them to say. Like with the AI, like
I need an AI father.
I'm so proud of you. Everything you do. You open your eyes in the morning, I'm proud. Go to sleep at night, still proud. Just keep doing you.
Oh my God. The hell were we talking about?
Yeah, we just got into daddy issues, and that was the end of it. So we were talking about AIs, because even like on CapCut on the desktop, they have AI actors now. So you can type in your script, and some of the inflection stuff and the tone stuff is
Wait,
awkward.
they'll make an AI movie?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't even need to be able to write. You just
3D?
No, it's. I mean, like, you could see, like, you could tell that. Oh, I don't have my phone. Oh shit!
Wow.
So like. Like, she's an AI.
If you're like me and struggle to find space in our bathrooms, then Yeezus Magnetic Bathroom Organizer is the product for you. Say goodbye to clutter and hello to a streamlined and organized space.
Not a real person?
Not only does it help you keep your bathroom tidy, but they also make
I mean, she's a real person.
Today,
But what she's saying?
It's 100% scripted.
Wow, maybe they're doing the cutaway when she like looks.
I did that.
Wait, you made this?
Yeah.
Oh, you made this?
Yeah.
all of your essentials within seconds,
So go.
making it easy to find what you need. No more fumbling around with loose.
This is that scary, futuristic, apocalyptic voice where it says, "You are in trouble with the police. They will be at your door. All doors locked down. You must surrender." Like, that's a scary, like,
You must surrender.
the Operation Wipe Human. Like, holy shit.
So yeah, you can, and even like on CapCut,
There's definitely something about being paranoid and being a creator. Like your mind can take you down crazy paths.
you know what? I don't even think it's creative anymore. It's just like reporting at this point.
I like that.
It's like all the crazy shit that sounded like 1984. Like, you know,
Right.
It's like, no, it's not fiction. It's real.
And what did they say? The Terminator's 2029?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was 24. Was it 29?
I
2029?
think it was 29.
Wait, Judgment Day was 29?
Yeah. Or 28.
What was 2020?
That was 3 years ago.
No, I mean, but wasn't that like Blade Runner or like
2049?
was it?
Oh, the Harrison Ford
Yeah.
one? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe 2019, 28. That sounds familiar now.
I started reading Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. You ever read it?
No.
Basically, like
You're going to kill me. I've read like 5 books.
you know what? I don't really read either, but
Well,
like,
no, don't do this. You're one of those guys. Hey, you guys study for the test? I didn't study. Oh, 89? What the fuck? I got a 64.
yeah, no,
You
but
definitely are that guy.
no, I would have got the 89, but I wouldn't have studied for it.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I like mostly like Audible if I'm consuming books, but like I'm trying to like read physically, but like I'll read at night because I go right to sleep. Like it's like an automatic like.
What is it about?
Oh yeah, that book. They stop having children and they start hatching them. So like, and then they like.
Yes, that's the voice that I hear from that type of movie.
Yes. So
Yes.
from the time that they're in utero or whatever eggs. They're being conditioned to only do what the Department of Hatcheries and Conditioning want them to be able to do. So they're creating model citizens basically. I'm only like 20 or 30 pages into it, but that's essentially what they're saying the future. And if you ever think about like what Rogan talks about or people on Rogan talk about with like the alien theory of them being just time travelers and actually being human. That they've just been
They're us in the future?
asexualized and what's up?
They're us in the future?
Yes. Like there's no more genitals, their heads are bigger, their eyes are bigger, like because they've gotten rid of all of
Went from the hovercraft to now they don't need their bodies at all. It's just like
just a consciousness.
a piece of flesh, but it's all in the mind.
Well, like if you think about the things that cause wars, it's all like flesh related, sex related, like people kill over sex, people kill over money.
That's what like to deny that we came from animals. Somebody steps on your did I say animals? To deny that we came from animals. If you step on somebody's shoe, like what the fuck? or if you see a person that you're attracted to, you're like, oh, it's like it's still inside of us.
Right.
Like for people to deny that, it's crazy.
So there's that theory that the aliens are really just time traveling humans from the future that have been asexualized and made to accentuate the good things, like the size of our brain or whatever. And so those aliens are just humans.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It also goes into the flat Earth, because that is it talks about like they're not actually coming in from another planet. They're just here using whatever technology they have to travel through time.
Okay. What do you think about
I don't know if it's true.
the alien made love to an ape and made humans?
Well, we know Manimal. I don't know. Is that possible? An alien and an
Because
ape?
we have these instincts to fight and fuck, but we also have this reasoning ability and the creative ability.
Yeah. It's odd. I'm not 100% convinced that we're not actually just in hell and this is just torment. It's just the illusion of
Live from hell.
hope. Live from hell. It's the illusion of hope that makes it torture. Like that things are going to be better in the future. In some heaven or something.
What would be the northern mythology answer to that? Is Zeus gonna save us?
If we're actually in hell right now,
Yes.
you can believe that he will. That gives you hope.
So there's no doesn't Dante get rescued from hell or something?
Well, there's seven circles of hell
See, somebody gave me a book. My
in
friend-
Dante's Inferno. Like that's not like biblical or anything.
But like, isn't it something, right? The guy had to be connected with something. If he's,
I mean,
I'm assuming the author is a he, by the way. Like, isn't there like, I don't know, like some conduit? Like Rick Rubin always talks about, like the art comes to him because he's a conduit for the art. Whoever wrote Dante's Inferno, like either they were like laying with wax candles around them in a room, or they were like just hallucinating while under psychedelics. Like there has to be, they opened up that pathway to make that book. My point. So it's like, is there any answer or resolve from that book? Again, I've never read the book.
I haven't read it. I just know that like basically like the basic premise is that like there's different levels of torture. Like in the most inner, I don't know if it's the most inner circle is the worst or the most outer circle is the worst, but like depending on where you are in the seven circles of hell depends on how much torture you're experiencing.
Did you feel that during the pandemic people gravitated more towards God and religion? I've seen that.
Well, I don't even know.
Like it was unholy what was going on with everything that you laid out before with the government and the higher ups.
Anytime there's wars or pestilence, God is going to come up. You know, especially because it's like this is what's in Revelations. This is what they talk about in the Bible. It's like wars, pandemics, you know, rumors of wars, and those are all signs of the second coming. So all of a sudden,
Neo.
What's up? Yeah,
Neo.
Neo's coming back for the fourth time. This time we get it right.
Yeah. I wish they said that. Have you seen the movie?
It came out?
The Matrix 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't. Oh my, they make fun of it. They like, it's like fourth wall where they're like, hey, they mention Warner Brothers. The people who created the Matrix are in Warner Brothers. It's like so bad.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And they're like, we have to make a new one because people have to the merch and the money. Like the Wachowskis started to make fun of it.
It's a great like franchise, and there's so much potential.
You can do a freaking Netflix 8 series show, lower budget. They're in the Nebuchadnezzar. They have like ripped clothes. Like they're on like a Broadway play. Like You could do like and then you save the action for the final scene because the budget, you don't have all the, you pour it into the final episode. Like, I think there's so, like the canon
Dude, they're
part of
giving
it.
budgets to these Netflix shows, and Prime I think is throwing money. It's just Jeff Bezos. It's just
He's
like,
catching up though. Like I was like, how did he get Jim Gaffigan on? I go, he must have like overpaid. The same thing with the Saudis and fighting. That's why I think they can compete.
and
with,
golf too,
with-
right?
Yes, golf,
aren't they
soccer.
like strong arm in golf?
Dude, I heard there was an $800 million contract offered to the soccer player Mbappe. Tiger Woods was offered $1.1 billion to play for them, and it's like, you remember the whole hypocrisy about that, right?
That he's not even that good anymore.
With the politics of it was like, oh, if you play for Live, you're supporting terrorism, and then now the PGA and Live have merged, and it's like, what the fuck? It's all money, man. That's
Yeah.
why people like you, Democrat, you Republican. It's like, no, you're a capitalist. Like, you want to better yourself, and it's like, it's a fucking puppeteering, man. It's a game, and they pull on people's strings, and the people who want to rock the laundry of the red or rock the laundry of the blue,
Are Democrats really capitalists?
like the party.
Yeah.
Doesn't Biden want to make the most money he can? Don't the Clintons want to make the most money they can?
Yeah. Them specifically, but their
That's-
politics are socialist.
Okay. I just, I'm so I've never voted in my life.
Good.
Like,
Good for you.
I'm out of the political game, but I just look at it as,
I'm not really political either. But you know what? I am to a point of mostly like I can't stand either side of it. Because it's all like, yo, how are we not like, how have we not like stopped and gone like, is this really the best way that we could approach this?
well, Rogan makes a point. It's not necessarily the Trump or the Biden who, like, people are that they're grilling them. It's the people who have been in the Congress for 50 to 40 years, like, who have been career politicians. Like, they're making the decisions. Like, they should be turned over just as much as the cabinet should be turned over. There's so much, like,
it's definitely room for improvement, right? My theory is this: Donald Trump's getting reelected. During his
how does he even have the energy? It's like, dude, go home.
Adderall, you know, he's got the money. He's got, what else is he gonna do? He likes the attention, you know.
So then maybe he'll be part of the election?
No, he's getting elected. He's getting elected.
No way. No way.
Donald Trump gets elected. You ready? This is the second phase. Second phase, during his term, he's going to have term limits increased to 3 term limits for a president, which is going to bring back so that he can run again in 28. But Obama's going to come back, and it's going to be Obama versus Trump
Obama's the next one that is going to turn
for
into
the fate of the free world.
Yeah, and then the
Hold
Terminator
on.
happens.
Obama gets elected.
I believe that because Trump's dead.
The economy collapses. Like
Trump Jr.
so bad. Like,
Where
so
are we going with the storyline? You're like Vince McMahon.
I'm just prophesying, bro.
So then.
Well, that's as far as I could see.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what happens. Is I see everything ending in death and destruction, and then that's kind of it.
Well, then get in your 100,000 or 1 million downloads at Nerdy Jerm before the death and destruction come upon us.
2028.
That's it. So you got a beautiful 5-year run of happiness.
Yeah. The roaring 20s, man.
We won't even get to experience all the solar panel movement that's happening, whatever is happening.
What
Right? Isn't there going to be electric? Like, I feel like there's a political agenda to move things towards electric to diffuse some of the Saudi oil power. Like, if they can, like, they've turned this into, like, you're a bad person if you drive a gas car. So then it's like, my prediction is that they're going to look at the dollar, paper money, as like, hey, you're a bad person if you have bills on you. Crypto.
Right.
Currency, digital currency. All your dollars can be put a chip in you, and you could see your dollars pop out in a hologram. Like, it's all like, that's what we've learned. If you do that whole embarrassment thing, like the one, like penalize people who aren't going with the wave.
Uh-huh.
Check out that book. Like you become an outcast and a hated figure, even if you stand for the right thing. And it's like governments pulled that, and yeah, electric cars, the green movement could be a part of that. Even though at its core, it's a great thing,
Right.
Yeah, but it's like they turn into like a chess move. That's the crazy. Like even if it's a good play, like somebody be like, "Hey, I want to cure cancer," and be like, "Don't release it yet. We got to get sponsored." Like if somebody had the cure in their head, what do you mean? I could just tell the pup, no, don't get it out yet.
Yeah. Imagine it was just like a simple cure. They'd find a way to complicate it.
100 push-ups a day. Imagine.
Well, my push-ups suck. I'd be dead.
People at 11:59 would be like, I gotta. Imagine that you die if you don't do 100 push-ups.
Every single day.
Yeah.
It's like a Andrew Tate thing. He does push-ups.
You ever see the movie Time with Justin Timberlake?
No.
It's like,
yes, I have.
you get 24
Is that
hours.
what it's called?
You have to work or in time or something like that. You get 24 hours after your 8-hour shift, or you get 16 more hours after your 8-hour shift to live. And the rich, they get like, they can have years on their time watch, and it's like time is the most important. My mother said that was, she's like, that's the same plot from like a Twilight Zone. And I was like, we're not too far away from that.
Yeah.
The Blade Runner future.
No.
My wife says every movie's future is horrible.
Well,
does art reflect life, or does life reflect art?
it's probably in the middle. I would say that life probably, or art probably reflects life more than life reflects art. I think that largely most creative is like a conduit of what we experience in the universe. No one's really like creating stuff that has no reference piece.
I agree.
In the universe, you know. Like even in Pokemon, like, you know, it's like they're different like they're just combining elements of like other animals or amphibian or, you know, species.
Right.
They're not creating anything that doesn't exist. They're just saying like if a fish and a turtle were to
fertile.
Yeah, exactly. It would have a shell. It would be a fish with a shell, and we'll call it fertile.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you're coming up with new music. It's like there's this structure, and it's like, or new movies too. Like, how are they gonna keep coming?
Well,
that's
why they reuse so many plots and they remake so many movies.
Books to movies now.
Well, that's always been a thing, but like, yo, did you see The Creator?
Why does that? That's an Amazon show.
No, it was a movie. Actually,
really good.
It was fucking amazing, and it had no book or comic book. Like, so it was an actual original movie. It's a futuristic. Again.
What is it on?
It's probably on a pay-per-view right now because it just finished in the movies.
The Creator.
So it's an AI. It's an AI robot.
Oh, I saw that at a Dodgers game. They put
a trailer.
They did some weird promotional tactic. They put robots in the stands.
Oh yeah,
they were real robots. Yeah, and they were like blinking and watch the game, and then people started to figure out that they were like standing in front and take pictures of them. Like it was a sales tactic.
Yeah. Well, the movie.
That's how I found out about it. It
was
worked.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, the movie was amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Really it looks great. Like it's the future.
Yeah. So there's like a future where
is that Denzel's son?
Basically, like AI does like a Judgment Day thing and like sets off some nukes. Like they make AIs and everything's great, and then the AI becomes self-aware and sets off a nuke, and then they outlaw the AIs except in like China or something, and then the Americans have to go to China to try to find this weapon. It's pretty cool. And
Ken Watanabe is in it.
I don't know who that is.
If you saw him, you'd know. But this sounds like a Christopher Nolan movie. He's in Inception.
Yeah.
I think he's in one of the Batmans. But yeah, Denzel's kid, great actor. All right, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. As long as it's not $19, I could wait till it's the $5.99
Yeah, you wait
on
for
Amazon. I'm still waiting to see Day of Reckoning, Mission Impossible 8. It might be 8. Like, seriously, even though I'm joking around, it might be 7 or 8.
It's gotta be close. It's definitely more than 4.
What do you know about Scientology? I feel like you have interest in take. I'm
Not a
when
lot.
when I tell you I'm like blissfully ignorant, it's like I'm blissfully ignorant.
So I know a little bit. I know that L. Ron Hubbard was the creator
Okay.
of Scientology. He was also a terrible sci-fi author. Like he was like but he's also written something like he's written more books than any published author, some shit like that. But they're
One
all
of
terrible.
those like Kim Jong Il has the most hole-in-ones. Did
Yeah.
you ever hear that?
Yeah. But he created the Dianetics, which is like the Bible of Scientology. And in that book, it talks about aliens or whatever that came to the earth, and there's like some auditing process that they have to go through to be cleaned, where they hold on to like electrodes, and they have to like they work with their person who is auditing them, auditor, I guess, and they ask them questions, and then there's like some electrocution thing going on. Yeah, I don't really know much more than that stuff. That they have some weird rituals, like, or they have rituals that I don't understand or haven't looked much into. But the guy who invented it was alive and told people that he was doing it.
I always feel like it might be one of those things. I mean, look at the poster boy for it, Tom Cruise. Like, you're like, oh, this guy looks like he's like 35 still.
Right.
Like one of those. It's an outcast religion, but people, I don't know. And then they have the documentaries. It's like, yeah, I was lucky to get out. It's a cult. Oh my God.
Well, everything's a cult. It's like everything. The jiu-jitsu is a cult. Like anything where there's a culture and that people are influenced by a set of principles and values. I mean, it's a cult. Like, regardless, like not necessarily a destructive one or an evil one, but we associate the word cult with negative.
True.
A negative group. But any culture is a cult. We're not like, the David Koreshes of the world and Kool-Aid and, mass suicides, but like anything where there's groups of people gathering around one set or similar sets of morals, values, and principles, So Scientology is just another one. CrossFit and BJJ and whatever. They're all different cultures too.
Our cult leader, man, he's one of a kind.
But I think that's probably the factor that's the important one, is that there is no like one, like there's Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, but like Ilio Gracie has no more power within the world of Jiu-Jitsu. He's dead now, right? Anyway, whoever, like Henzo, I'm sure his opinion goes very far, and things that he wants done happen, and when he thinks changes happen. But I don't think if Henzo was like, all right, guys, today's the day. We got this Kool-Aid, Like, I don't think anyone would be like, okay, maybe.
I don't know. Sarah brought some jungle juice, and he's like, you may not wake up tomorrow. I think I'd be like, all right, if the boss man says it, we gotta do it.
I make good people dangerous.
Yeah, Jedis. And we talk about alter ego quite a bit now. I don't know how long we've been flowing for, but it's like, I mean, he's obviously got to be a family man when he gets home and wind down. You hear Rogan is just kind of like a foreman when he goes to his comedy club. He needs things done fast. Like, he's more ramped up than when he's podcasting or when he's on the desk for the UFC. Like, he has to be that persona or alter ego to get things done. Like, Sarah is a sweetheart, but it's like when you're on his time, the scheduled time, all right, everybody off the mat, it's Muay Thai's time. All right, Muay Thai, you're done, time to clean the mats. All right, everybody out. Is anybody parked there? Up, down. How many people are left in the locker room? Like, it's ding dong, like, orderly And that's the beautiful part about Matt that I think so many people attract to, is that he's achieved so great of heights, like physically, with his fighting career, and now he's like he's changing people's lives. Like he's made his he has like basically a drug den, but that den is an academy, and the drug is jujitsu itself, the art, and it's beautiful. So do drugs, kid, as long as it's jujitsu and Sarah jujitsu. He's intimidating, sure as shit. Don't get me wrong, but it's like you know he has that like that big heart beating behind those big old pecs.
Yeah. He's and anytime he like walks in the room, it's like that is like an immediate like energy boost.
Oh, people told me for the worst that like if Sarah walks in or he's sitting by the clock, it's like you're gonna get some people's best.
Oh no, for sure. Everyone just got 10 or 20% better just from him opening the door. Like you hear the door open, and you're like, "Oh, excellent energy in the academy."
Yep. All of a sudden,
well, pool guy's not there anymore, but that used to be a regular thing. He'd walk in and be like, "Excellent energy in the academy, ain't that right, pool guy?" Or pool master.
What a nickname.
Yeah. But yeah, like he has like an immediate impact on me. Like just being around. Like the first time I ever met him, I heard him say he was just shouting stuff like he does. Like he's like. And he said, "I make good people dangerous," and I was like, "Oh man, I'm not really a good person, but I'd like to be dangerous." I'll go for it.
I remember he was one of the first times that I met him. It was one of those. He was like the Star Wars, the Mandalorian was a hot topic, and it's called This Is the Way. Do you remember that? I screwed it up. I was like, I know the way. He goes, no, this is the way. I was like, we know the way. He goes, no, this is the way. And I'm just like bumbling over my words. But it's like, even though you could be like a little nervous and a little intimidated by Matt, it's like, he means well, and he can know you mean well. Like, nobody is going to be an asshole and last very long in that gym.
No. And dude, it's like, you think about like the world and politics and stuff like that, and like how many different cultures and backgrounds are represented in particular in Matt's academy. I'd imagine it's got to be similar in any large academy. And like, there's never beef. Like there's never like people like screaming at each other. I mean, I'm sure people get into like, altercations, but there's never disrespect, and like every, I would say, nationality under the sun is represented, and like, but people in front of each other get along. It's like the news that turns things into these like war-like situations, I think it's interesting that I don't know. I'm not like really like putting my words together.
That's been correctly. Me this whole however long we've been going, man. My words have been we're like hanging around the dance floor of like supremely deep topics.
Well, that's the thing, is like, because you're talking about like human behavior and like relationship building, and like you were talking about
politics,
before, like
religion. We're hitting it all, man. This is a first on the octagon.
Well, you were talking about before, like you don't really know someone until you roll with them, and like you have like it's like a completely different understanding of a person that you just rolled with, and like there's like whether it be from compassion or just like, yo, this dude just gave me his all, like, I don't know why you go from, it just seems like such a peaceful place to be.
Right. Great way to put it. It's like, it's, even in the Matrix, I don't know if you remember the first where Morpheus puts him in like a training program. It's just him. It's Morpheus and Neo, and it's just a white background. Some movies do that all the time.
Yes.
Where it's just like maybe Morgan Freeman and Jim Carrey in Bruce Almighty that did that, where it's just, that's how it can be in a place where you guys gave not max effort to kill like it's a tournament, like you're ready to rip a limb, but it's like you approached it and you gave it all. You broke a sweat. You guys may be laughing afterwards, like great go. It's like you're just in that spot for 15 seconds or however long it lasts till you move on. It's like you hold that with you. Holy shit! Like the way you just put that, it's like the way you explain that, it's like you find peace Zuckerberg, he says he stopped running because he's still thinking of his daily routines. That jiu-jitsu attracted to him because you can't think about itineraries while you're being choked or mangled or squished. It's like you have to be in the moment and focus on getting this freaking gorilla off you.
Interesting.
And I agree with that. It's like a place of freedom. You enter there, the hardest part showing up, and it's like when you do show up, you're free.
Yeah. Yeah.
I keep making excuses, man. Like I keep making these guarantees. I'm like, all right, this week I'm gonna go 3 days, 4, and it's like then you find an excuse. Okay, next week I'm gonna be more consistent. The following week I'm gonna be more consistent, and it's like
the noon class is the thing that really got me going.
Because if it gets too late in the day, you're like,
no,
done?
it's just like, well, initially when I owned the gym, I would coach until like 11:30, and then I'd be off until like 3:30 or 4, and then go back for classes in the afternoon. And so when I started jiu-jitsu, it was like they had a noon class every day. At that point, I was living in Huntington. I would just drive right past it, and I was like, you know what? And I would go home and just nap for 2 or 3 hours and be depressed that I couldn't get out of that cycle. And because I felt like I was burning the candle on both ends and not making any progress because of how much I was coaching and working. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to change this. And then I started going to the noon class because it was on the way, but now it's just a habit. Now it's part of, like, now I'll come from, even if I'm back out in Medford, I'll drive out to Huntington, which can't last much longer, but whatever.
Check out Maxim Jiu-Jitsu on Sunrise Highway.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of great schools out that way. I checked out Peak in Patchogue Village.
Saw them. Yep. You go pregame after.
And then my buddy owns CrossFit NPV in Patchogue and 10th Planet East Long Island. Is
people
in there. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And so those guys are cool.
Yeah, different bodies, different energy. You'll have that anxiety of being the new guy.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're always welcome back to the Sarah family. It's like I feel like we'll be magnetizing you to come over here.
It's hard to go anywhere else, you know, because it's like, hey, all your friends are there, you know, like everyone, and you know, like who you train with, you know, who like what type of match it's gonna be, like, you know, for the most part, you know, give or take, you know, like who does what, and obviously you always want to be changing stuff. But man, I don't know. You go against a black belt, you're getting something new every time, regardless of if you've rolled with that guy every day this year, you know, because that's why they're a black belt.
True.
But yeah, so
you'll find your way back if you want to. I always believe you could always find what you're looking for, good or bad.
Yeah.
People they could walk towards depression willingly. Like you can find it if you want it. Like, life is miserable. Same shit, different day. I hate that saying. Same shit, different day. And it's like you're walking further instead of like stopping it in tracks. Like I'm gonna make a change. So if you want to find your way to Sarah's, you will.
Like that's like when people say "living the dream" sarcastically. And I'm like, well, I mean,
right.
You picked all this stuff, you know.
Right.
When I think like probably. Like when I was like 27, I started like really trying to like get into a better life, you know? That's why I wanted to open my gym. That's when I wanted to like not, because I was working for Pepsi. I was like driving a Pepsi truck and I didn't want to live that life. I didn't want to work I still don't want to work at a job that's like thankless and like no gratitude for. Like I only want to do things that matter, you know? I'd rather make less money and do something that matters to me than make a lot of money.
Because then you're slowly dying inside if you don't.
Like I don't want to go through the motions.
A lot of people have driven beverage trucks that have become super famous. James Cameron, Deontay Wilder, Jeremy Massa.
Well, remains to be seen, but we're here. We're going for it.
Yeah, man. Come on. I'm like, I can't believe that you were in a depressed state. Like, you're one of the most positive people, obviously one of the most creative people that I've ever met. You have a great perspective. If there's anybody who's a blowtorch, even if you love them, but it's like they can just piss you off after 15 minutes, I don't know, man. Like, pat them on the back and tell them you'll see them later, but it's like, don't let anybody distract this journey you're on. Like, unless like you're just doing lines of coke and meth like outside of here, but you're like, you got it going on, you got it together. Like what would my mom say? You got the full package. Yeah, openness factor. No, I'm kidding. What do you believe are the next steps for you to get to where you want to go creatively? Is it going viral, because that doesn't pay the bills? Is it getting a sponsorship? Well, okay, how do you do that? Like, what is there a step that you can travel like down the East Coast with your music? Like, how do we get to that point?
I mean, I guess the part of the problem is not really knowing. Like, so it's like I actually do have a music business mentor who I was working
You're
with.
in the great mix. Being in company with Kerry Stellar and John Beneducci, they got that business mind. Like, you are an artist and a creative.
Yeah, I suck at the the actual like business. Go do this thing. It's like, but I drew this picture. Yeah. So, like ideally, like I want to be able to be like creating from anywhere in the world and having some level of income around that, whether I be doing video editing or writing music. Obviously, for me, like the music and singing and writing lyrics it's extremely personal, and it's definitely the thing.
It is the thing for you.
Yeah, and
Don't
so,
paint it any other way.
Yeah,
it really is.
Well, even from like a self-help
I think it keeps you alive.
perspective, dude. I honestly like the last and for everyone it's been rough, but the last 3 years have been crazy. And if I were to like sit back and just like look at all of like the negative stuff that's happened in my life specifically, not even including what's gone on in the world, it would be like, oh man, life really sucks. But like, there's also like all the positives that have come out of it. But I really only believe that it's because of like the actions being taken of like actually doing writing and actually writing music and actually going to jujitsu and actually exercising and that stuff that like makes it so that I can function and not let the depression kind of crush me. But it would if I didn't. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like if I don't do those things, then I'm gonna end up in like a worse state. So
you want to hear some weird shit? You will not get hurt until you're super famous. It's just, that's how it happened. It's like you would be like, oh, I don't have time for jiu-jitsu. Like, say you have 2 cell phones, your agent's calling you, got sponsorship, and then you fall down a flight of stairs, and then all you can do is just get fat and work on your music. And you're super rich. It's like that. Your body is like you need it. It's like it's like your boat that transports you to stay afloat. Like it, by training, by being present. It's weird how when you don't need it, you can just, I'm not summing this up smoothly, but it's like you won't get hurt as long as you're like, that would be
Struggling.
horrible. It would be fucking horrible. If you got hurt tomorrow, it'd be fucking horrible.
Yeah,
You'd be like,
I think about it all the time.
but it's like there's something that's going to keep pushing you, keep the cells moving around, keep the blood circulating around your body, that keeps you alive, because you're gonna crack through.
Yeah.
And when you fucking crack through is then when you crack your your tibia and your suit. But it's like, wouldn't everybody take that? It's like, oh my God, if I had $1 million, yeah, sure, I'll be injured for 6 months. But it's like, why did that happen at that point? And it's like, I feel there is a higher nature to you, like something spiritual that not many people have tapped into. And it's like, you gotta, with that, the devil and the angel on the shoulders, it's like you're running away from the self-sabotaging, which is the devil. And you're doing it, man. That's why it's like you're doing the hardest things. This is the hardest time. And you're gonna look back and be like, holy shit, like this is so much easier now. I don't know how I can't have that same energy. Like what you did back then, 2023 or 2022, 2021. It's like, you ever hear the primes of athletes, or the first album of an artist is the best album? And it's like, then that's the company's album, and then the second, third is the artist album. It's never like that first one. you're on that first album trajectory, and it's like, yeah, I know it's Drake is Drake, but it's like he talks about like that first album was like praying every day, just chasing the dream, living at home, and just you gotta believe that what you're doing, you're following your heart, so you believe it is going to pay off. And it's always darkest before the dawn. Whenever freaking saying like it's gonna happen. And dude, that's why it's like you're well put together. Like I'm schlepping around a messy house. I mean, my city apartment.
You have 3 children. You had 66% more children now than you had 2 weeks ago.
True.
That's a big increase.
But I would like. I don't know how anybody wouldn't turn to you for an answer. That's what I mean.
I do.
You're modest, man. I'm telling you, just keep that modesty, because when the script flips, like for all of us, it's like a lot of people that I'm surrounded by, it's almost like if we got the power now, we wouldn't know what to do with it. And it's almost like we want to. People ask Rogan all the time, how are you handling this much fame? And he said, it was a slow boil. And he's like, I would one step down, 2 steps up, one step, and just slowly. He was in the UFC for years, and the early podcasts were shit. And now he's talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Right.
Bernie Sanders, and it's like, it's epic. And it's like, it happened for him at 47, 49, 51, this worldwide fame, the Spotify deal, exactly when it was supposed to happen. So,
and actually Stephen Pressfield was like 50 something when he wrote The Legend of Bagger Vance, which was his first like breakthrough. Like, that was like his like.
Got to see the movie.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it either, and I'm not 100% sure if he was unpublished up until that point, or if he had had books published that just didn't do anything. But like that was the one that got published, became a movie, made him ultra rich, and that's what basically this
that
book,
hit single.
The book is basically about how not to quit before, because he waited till he was like 50 something.
Yes,
It brings us back full circle.
the guy Michael B. Jordan. He says when you're literally on the door of like everything you dreamed of, it's like there's so many people. There's like a cool meme, like these 2 guys are picking at a hole and there's all diamonds, and one guy is so close to cracking through, but he quit. He turned away at the last moment. Your mother could give up on you. Your best friends could give up on you. You have to be on your dream, or believing in your dream. Your mother, your friends could stop believing in your dream. Like you are the only one it matters to.
That's true.
That's it.
There's no reason not to do it.
My wife asked me, working electrical, she goes, you're really still set on this MMA media thing. And I almost went berserk. I stormed out of the playground like a toddler. I took my ball and I went home. And it was like, man, it's like everybody was questioning. And it's like, you got to believe it. You got to feel it. And that's why I know you're an amazing creative, because obviously you're talented, but you got that work ethic, and not everybody has the combination,
I didn't have it for a long time.
Bullshit! You open a gym,
But
you
that-
modest motherfucker. You
well,
are.
but that's where I learned it. Like I think that
What are you talking about? You just rolled out about, I want to open a gym. You haven't been this person who's always first at the bus line.
No.
Shows up to class, never late.
I didn't even. I finished high school, and then I did not make good decisions up until between high school and 27. I made a lot of destructive decisions.
Drugs?
A lot of them. But during which
You got so many lyrics though out of those years, right? Come on, right?
Well, at that point, that's all I knew, So all the heavy metal stuff was all about drugs and bad relationships. But I had no work ethic because I never had, I didn't really have a job. I worked at pizzerias and driving and stuff, and like I had no direction. I didn't go to college. I like took some classes. Eventually, like when I got my shit together, and it's like, okay, well now I don't have all this leisure stuff that I do. And I have to go to work, and I want to make some decent money. Like, oh well, if you want to make decent money, you have to do things that you work hard at. And I got into driving, which was like probably the most money I could make getting a license quickly. You know, like, okay, if I get my license, I can have a truck and be driving and, you know, whatever. But cultivating habits was what happened at that point. It was like show up to work every day on time, early. Like I'd be at work at 4 a.m., you know.
How many all-nighters were you on?
None. Once I started working for Pepsi, it was like either you kind of go in when you want to and then deliver your stuff and then go home. And depending on where the route is, you might want to get in early to beat traffic, or if you're really close to the warehouse, you know, you might just go there and whatever.
Was this in those 20s?
This was like late 20s, like late 20s going into my 30s.
Also, this was like 27, 28 when you were starting?
When I first got my license, I was like 26.
I want to focus on the 18 to 27. What the, like, am I hitting something where it's like lyrics, like you still, like things that happened then
no
aren't coming through in your lyrics today?
I'm a completely different human, you know?
Right.
So it's like
I used to be a mess too.
Yeah.
When I would roll into work, I was smoking joints, putting whiskey in the coffee mug, like just trying to numb, just constantly be numb. And it's like, it wasn't satisfied, wasn't happy what place I was.
No. Yeah.
But it's like, I still remember it and just like.
No, because even like with marijuana now, like I don't have that like desperation to like have it, you know?
That's
like,
where I was at.
I like it.
Right.
Like, and I have some daily, but like, I'm not like worried, like, oh my God, am I going to run out? Like, what am I going to do? Like,
right.
You know, I was into like
God.
mostly like opiate, like pills, like pharmaceuticals. You run out of those.
Nothing
like,
with music at the time?
No, I was doing music. I was writing like lyrics and doing like heavy metal stuff. Mostly like just screaming. And like, but everything was about like heartbreak, disappointment, devastation, like, because that's how I felt. Like nothing was working out because, you know, I had no, like I wasn't living a life. I was just kind of like getting high when I could and then working enough to like have enough money to buy stuff and, you know, and then realized like, well, then I met somebody, she got pregnant, and then that was like, okay, well now I have to stop doing this. And had my son not been born, I probably would have kept doing that or some variation of it. But like I had to like get my life together and like go to work and like pay child support and that kind of stuff because we ended up not being together. And then that's where I learned the work ethic. But you know,
Same with me.
I think a lot about like, what if I had just stayed in wrestling and like not gotten into like, because it was all coping mechanisms, you know, like realizing
Wrestling?
No, like the drugs and like whatever. It was like had I like had more confidence and self-esteem, potential, like my theory is like had I wrestled or like stayed in martial arts, because I did like Shorin-ryu for like a year or something when I was very, very young, which is like karate. Like would I have had that same reaction to drugs? Like, or would it have just been like, oh, that was cool, let's go back to...
You could argue you may never discover your musical talents because maybe...
No, I had that forever. So from the time I was like 8, I was like trying to write songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a freaking prodigy here, man. It's just a matter of time with you.
Not even a prodigy. It's not really, because prodigies develop quickly. It's like...
8's pretty young.
Well, it was like the desire to do it was there, but the work ethic was like that wasn't like, it's not.
Did you come from a musical family?
No, my father is an artist, but he's like, so there's that. So I think that's probably got most of where it comes from.
It was always in there though.
It's always in there. I
That's-
think something about like just like songs and particularly I always want to be able to write my own lyrics. I can't do cover songs. Like I don't love like I'll go to a karaoke night and have a lot of fun. But like
Right.
if I'm gonna get on stage and say, hey, my name is Jeremy Massa, or hey, I'm Nerdy Jerm, like I'm not gonna do it. Like I would do like a cover song, but I would never be in a cover band because outside of like maybe I would do it for
Feel the Reaper.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But like for income that might be cool, but like it wouldn't scratch the creative nerve. It never, and I always knew that. So that's why like my first band when I was like 16 started as a cover band, but then as soon as we started writing, that's all I wanted to do was write.
Were you always the lead?
I was always the vocalist. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. But like I think the reason I'm able to write the amount of stuff I write now is because the internet, being able to find producers, being able to find other artists who are creating the music, licensing it out from them and buying it and then making music. All I have to do is worry about lyrics and melody. And which is all I've ever really wanted to do was be the vocalist. Even though like I am an introvert and like it's been a whole process of trying to overcome all like the resistance and the introversion and being able to put stuff out and be like, hey, I put a lot of work into this. What do you think? And get like 3 likes,
Dude, yes. That's why I'm like, how am I pouring? Like I used to do this whole like news octagon where I wear a suit and have like, it's called, I think it's called SOT. Or no, it's over OTS, over the shoulder views, like News 12, but it was like my MMA first. I was like, this is too much for 7 views. I was like, but I found what I could do.
Then you have to ask yourself, what if I just kept doing it?
What does he talk about in the books? Like being honest with yourself. It's like that's 18 hours of editing. That's too much. It's like doing a podcast, having a guest, chop chop chop. I can do that. I can pump that out because I'm passionate about it. Because if I don't do it, you internalize, man. You get angry. And I think anger could be just like the depression, like the frog boiling. You don't see it. Like you're just this barking loud dog that needs to be fed. And it's like, feed him. Even if it's one biscuit, it'll be like, okay, I know another biscuit's coming, so I'm going to wait for it. If you don't know that next biscuit's coming, like you're just going to start to get angry.
Right.
So it's good. We're feeding the appetite. 3 likes or 7 views. Who the fuck cares?
Well, that's got to be the attitude. Otherwise, like you get frozen and nothing comes out.
Right. So avoid being frozen.
Yeah, and I mean it's like just knowing that like the act of writing.
And are we doing it for the fucking like likes, or we're just doing it for ourselves?
Well, man, it's a double-edged sword because, like, yeah, I would like to know that people enjoy.
We need feedback.
The music that I'm making or the videos I'm making. It's like you put all that time and energy into something, like, and it's almost like part of it is like knowing that like people don't like to give out praise. Like, no one's impressed by anything anymore. It's like, yo, if you're not like. I don't even know what guys like.
Because everything could be making an omelet now is like a hashtag. Like it's a beautiful omelet.
Hashtag omelet maker. So it's like, okay, but you're right. Like that's why it has to be for you first,
right? Because
otherwise it won't get done. It won't get done well. It won't be worth putting out. However, on the back end of it, like. But
I'm telling you, and I used to talk to other podcast hosts like this and be like, "Yo, thank you for liking my YouTube thing. What'd you think about it?" And I'll give them direct honesty, like, keep doing it. Your shit is fucking good, man.
I appreciate
your shit is fucking good.
And what I was gonna say was like even just having one person validate it is like, okay, like you're not a stupid person. You're very smart, very educated, like very like you got what's going on in the world of media, entertainment, production. So like. It's a valuable opinion, and it just takes one person like saying like, "No, dude, it's good. Like, keep doing it." Like,
what? But because the guy doesn't know media, like it's still like even if I saw it on the feed, like what do they just want to like? It's like scary to see somebody really commit their heart. You know, it's like it's easier to be like, you fucking
Fuck this guy.
yeah, like.
Loser.
But I'm like, no, holy shit! There was a fucking lot of time, a lot of fucking effort, and it's like, keep fucking going, dude. We need people like us to like pat on the back, like you're fucking doing it right, son.
Yeah. But
Keep your chin up, as my mom says, or you're gonna miss all the good things coming your way.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Just having that like crew of people to hold you accountable. You know, like even though that like I'm never gonna be in an MMA fight. It's never gonna happen. I'm never getting in a cage. There's never gonna be like I would potentially do a BJJ match, but like I'm never gonna need to have the level of discipline that it takes to show up on a fight day to make weight and all that stuff that goes involved in that.
Okay.
But like the accountability involved around it's still the same level of like not the same level. It's still a similar accountability with training that
but your
applies
fight
to
is your
everything
music.
else. Right.
So
Right.
it is the same level of accountability. Like,
Right.
dude, me, John Kerry, are not fucking John and Kerry, not John Kerry.
Shout out to Vice President,
Or
former Vice President.
We would
Wait,
our
Did
version
he get elected? No, he wasn't.
04.
Was he?
No, I think
He lost. He was.
G-Dub.
That was.
You want to see this golf shot? That's the guy who got reelected. You get the reference, right?
The
Fucking idiot.
I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're asking him about like terrorism in the world. He's like, it's a really, really bad thing. And he goes, and then they're like, all right, I guess some people said cut. And he goes, you ready to see this golf shot? He was on a golf shot doing an interview, like a fucking buffoon.
Oh man, now sounds par for the course.
So, me, John, and Kerry. You ask us to make a music video, we'll fucking hold a selfie video and walk in the Sarah's walk in a field in a parking lot, dude. Like, that's not our fight. Your fight is this fucking. I can't say masterpiece because I just gotta keep. It's incredible what you produced. It's fucking incredible.
I appreciate it a lot.
And that type of thing, I see it all the time with artists. That might come back to you all of a sudden fucking 7 years later. Dearly Departed is playing. And it's like, it's crazy. You're like, where the fuck? It's the same fucking song. You just got to accept that. That's the way fucking business and corporate works. That it's like, folks, we're seeing the algorithm on Dearly Departed. Let's get some funds there. And it's like, you motherfuckers. You're like sucking dick for a burger at that point. You're like, are you kidding me?
I could go for a burger.
You guys heard that? At a restaurant, right? Paid for, right? Take a big gulp. Oh my gosh. No, there's a big gulp on the floor. This is an inside joke. But yeah, you just like I keep telling myself that, like, I'm telling you, the early Octagons, poor lighting, crazy amounts of editing, like written scripts, like for like a new segment. Like somebody's gonna look at that and it's gonna be like, holy shit, like we need more of that. Like bring that style back. And it's like it takes a while for art, especially made on an individual level, to get attention, so just keep chugging on. That's what I'm doing, man. Just fucking keep chugging, and take little victories. Little victories.
Well, that's that mindset stuff that we were talking about before, and just like that's actually something I do with jujitsu. Is like I try to like at the end of every like session, like think about what was like my win for the day, like what was my takeaway from that, like
right,
then from the very first day of jujitsu, like because you're just getting beaten,
you're
like
the nail.
Yeah, you're the fucking nail, and like honestly, I feel like I'm more of a nail now because now you're like as a blue belt for like a year.
You exhale for a bit, you get these fucking gorilla white belts who wrestled.
Well, those too, but like you also get the purple and brown belts who are no longer like playing nice.
True.
You're getting you know what's going on now, bro. Like,
yeah. Welcome to the poker table.
Yeah, so it's like it gets harder, and like I still like, so most days I end up leaving, like if I'm with mostly like up belt, like higher belts, like, you know, if I escaped something that day, like that was my win for that day. Or like, you know, if I am training with someone who I'm able to get into a couple submissions, like, all right, well, I did that well. But like most of the time it's like, did a purple belt tap me out or not? Like, okay, he didn't. He, you know, mounted me for 5 straight minutes, but he didn't get the submission. So that was the win for that day. Or like now it's more like, okay, I have to actually do something, like to actually get a reversal or actually get a sweep.
Going back to the same people. It's like you have these little battles.
Yeah, like dude, there's some days where like I'll like do like an escape.
I'm coming for your purple belt, Andrew.
When
I'm fucking coming for you.
And by coming for you, I mean I'm getting ready to escape your attacks.
Oh my god, this guy is a fuck. I call him the vanilla gorilla. I don't think he's all there. Like somebody's like, hey, he might be a little crazy. I was like, I'm still gonna get my win. They're like, all right, good luck. It's like 215, like jacked. Like he could have been an extra in the Avengers. And I'm like, but every day I'm like, you know what? I lasted 3 minutes before I was tapped. Or it's like, you know, get those little wins.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, I was listening. Yeah, like those incremental wins. Otherwise, it's like an overwhelming journey that you can't possibly navigate. Like,
are you making the connection between that and the music?
All of it.
Or following your dream?
Yeah, all of it. You know, because in the beginning, like you're not gonna have, like, you know what you get, like similar to in music, like the first couple of videos or first couple of things I put out, like I got a pretty good reaction from.
This sounds so familiar.
It's almost
hey,
like,
hey, good job. Yeah. You're doing something.
Yeah, you did. Oh, we're so proud of you. You're so.
Oh, he's still doing it.
So brave, so courageous.
He's still doing
it. Yeah. Then they're like, and like a year later, they're like, oh, I think he lost his mind. He's having a midlife crisis.
But yeah, I've heard like you really like this martial arts stuff. Like, and it's like, oh god, I already know where this is going.
What's your backup plan? This is we've already actually we've gone past the backup plan. We're back on plan A because that shit fucking sucked.
Exactly. When you go just so far you can't turn back. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we've decided that your way wasn't working for us. So homelessness and
when are you getting purple? I want purple.
A belt?
Yes, sir.
I got
2024? Come on.
I don't think so. Based on like the other blue belts. You know, based on like the guys that were about a year before me. Oh yeah.
What would you call it? The schematics?
Order of operations.
Order of operations.
Yeah. It's like I look at like you know, guys that were like might have just got their blue belt when I first had like 1 or 2 stripes or that kind of thing. And then it took me a year and a half to get my white belt. And then they probably had their white belts for 2 years-ish. And now they've had their blue belts for about 2 years. So when those guys start getting purple belts, then I'll be like, oh. Because I would imagine I got my blue belt in August of 22. So it's been a little over a year.
Next year. Come on, man.
Yeah,
You're consistent.
It's possible. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know how consistent I'm going to be this year.
I've been weighing this joke on my mind about going up to Matt the Terra, that's his nickname, Sarah, and asking him how much does, like, dead serious, looking him in the eye and say, how much does a purple belt cost? I just want to know. Like, his response needs to be on camera.
You should get a little like a chesty or something.
Right? Wear a black E.
Yeah.
And then wear the...
That would be great.
Oh my God! Maybe on April Fool's Day. That's in the spring. There we go. I'm gonna do it. Say I won't.
I'm not gonna say you won't. I believe.
Say
you
I won't.
You won't.
I will.
I don't think you will.
I don't know if I will.
It depends on whether or not I could find the camera that I need.
Also, I got a fucking big ass
GoPro,
bulky.
Dude, you can find like they make these clip-on cameras now that are like
my friend. I'm not gonna name names. We went to Ultra Techno Music Festival, and he was like, you see him just leaning into the girls, like butt cheeks hanging out, and he's only dancing like this. And I'm not gonna name names, and he's definitely not gonna watch this. he only watches the Jets and the Mets, and I was like, dude, you are a miserable sports fan. I discovered martial arts, the UFC, because of being a Mets and a Jets fan.
Yeah,
I go, wait, you can root for a champion that fights every 4 months? I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to watch this. And I was like, John Jones, like when he was coming out, I was like, oh, you can follow somebody's career and they win and they win. And I'm like, it's funny how like your childhood heroes become fucking villains.
Most of them, besides the 86 Mets, the entire team is a sainthood. Yeah.
I know.
I think that, how old are you?
34.
34. Oh, so you weren't even born in 86.
Nope, 89.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Nope. We had 06 with the Andy Chavez catch.
Stop
it. That was...
They won?
No.
Oh.
They made it to the almost. They almost
Yeah.
made it.
Well, okay. No, 86, like, I was 6 years old, and I still remember how amazing that like week was, you know? I remember watching my grandfather VHS, like, you know, recorded all 7 games of the Astro series and the Boston series. I remember watching that for years after. But like that team was awesome.
Yeah, I remember watching it now because that's all their channel plays is the 86.
Right. Yeah, like I remember this. 40 years ago.
Oh my god! And now the group chat with the Mets is, gee, this owner sucks. I was like, I thought he was the savior. I'm like,
well,
everybody flip flops, man. I just try to stay even keel with the sports takes.
I don't understand team sports because of that stuff. It's like, it's just so, I don't know.
Like, mainly disappointing because it's like a 2.7% chance that your team wins every single year.
Well, it's got to be lower than that because it's higher for some teams.
That is true. Right. You could go into the year like, okay, the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to have way more percentage than the Giants.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a team that has a worse percentage than the Giants. Isn't Miami in first place right now?
I don't believe it. I think it's fluff.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard like whisperings of it. I got really into football because of fantasy football for a while.
It's fun. I just lost the playoff game. My friends are like gloating.
Oh my god!
You know what he
deep
said?
in the season already?
I always say good game after a loss to the guy because we have a group chat. I said good game, Diego. Good game, Tino. Very ethnic group. Good. Good game, Yusuf. No. Good game, Jarrett. And I say I lost the playoff game. I'm like, fuck. Last night, Jalen Hurts went off, and I was like, damn it, he wasn't supposed to play. I said, good game, Diego. And he goes, cool, man. He goes, you know what? Oh my God, it's such a slight backhanded compliment that it pisses me off. He says, oh, I say, good win. Oh, he says, crazy game last night. I say, good win. He hearts it. And then he tries to sun me. I'm not replying to that shit. I'm fucking fuming over this text. He says, next year you got to pay attention. The league's your team. I'll be rooting for you. Stop. I've said good win. Just take it.
Nice.
Just take it. Don't tell me to pay more attention.
Sorry, I'm not the fantasy football connoisseur that you are.
Oh my
Diego.
God. And I'm like thinking about the replies, like, dude, you're about to get fucking trampled. But I'm like, I mean, I could say it for, hey, next year you should.
Next year you should just not even play.
Is
That's
that
how bad you're gonna get beat?
Is that our types? We hold on to things. I mean, it has to be. If we hold on to the good, we also hold on to the bad.
No, for sure. Almost all.
That's why I think it's healthy. Like a partner like my wife, she doesn't pay attention to all the bad, but she also doesn't pay attention, or maybe she just wants to hear like selective hearing. Like that could be beneficial for people. Like, but if you hear everything, it's like, and you're like unsure of where to go, that could be very dangerous. Right. Confidence is fucking key. You know how many 6'4", 250-pound athletes there are? What's the difference between one guy and the other guy? It's confidence.
I often wonder that. Like, what's the thing that makes that guy hit so hard or whatever?
It's knowing that he's going to hit hard and believing that he's going to hit hard and, like, just I think it's confidence. And that can affect from a young age. Like, my nephew wants to play college ball, baseball, potentially try some, like, spring league professionally. in Florida, but it's like confidence, and it's like he has this 3-year path to get there, but it's like you can lose faith, man. The doubt can creep in, and it's like maybe his mother she's the last believer of the Mohegans, like, but if she falls off and he thinks he can't do it, he was never meant to do it. But if he believes he can do it and he's the only one, that's all that matters. It's all that fucking matters. Confidence, man. Confidence. We need some of Manimal's confidence. That dude smells his own fart, says, excellence.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh my God. You see the depression video that he posted?
Yeah, I made that.
Oh, all right. Hell yeah. Or did AI make it?
Nope, that was all.
All right. Amazing. It is amazing. With the dumpster, I think.
Yes.
Dude, it's fucking incredible. Go check it out. At Manimal John, if I remember correctly, on Instagram. And I thought he was dead serious. Like, holy shit, he's having his Patty Pimlin moment. Where, Patty's like, hey, if you have a friend you need to talk to, get in his life.
You do good accents. Man.
Save his life. Thank you. And John was like, hey, I was depressed. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, he got my attention. That hook was amazing. I was like, oh, my God, what am I? Hey, if you're depressed, now I'm doing the British. He's like, hey, if you're depressed, Brooklyn style. And then all of a sudden he's like, orgies. And I was like, this is incredible fucking art. And I believe comedy's art.
Yeah, that's definitely
fucking incredible. Great edit though. Great edit. So
yeah, that was mid trip on mushrooms.
Roll out this idea, and I brought up to John and Carrie. I said I want to do a short film with you guys. Where you ever watch True Detective with Matthew McConaughey? I love it.
Yeah,
fucking love it.
Dark, love it.
Yeah. I want to do John and Carrie are the detectives, and it's like you find like a '90s Oldsmobile and like the Kings Park Asylum.
Yeah.
Like I had to always go through there for a job for like 2 straight months, and I kept driving. There was a bed there. The sun hit the weeds. There's only cracked sidewalks, and I was like, if we do a True Detective with John and Carrie, I was like, this is the setting. Like I don't know, like a 10-15 minute film or something. Like I got to write the script or collab with somebody to write the script. But is that too out there?
No, it's
like, do you see it? Like that's serious. They're in suits and they're driving in the sunglasses. We could do the green screen. Oh, they're driving. But like, what would a conversation? This is where I'm stuck. You talk about writer's block. What would a conversation be between those two in like a pretty serious short film? 2 detectives, and it's like some like weird crime happened. What, like, I can't think of what they would say like while they're driving, because those cops have those scenes.
Yeah, it should be something that you would think they wouldn't be talking about.
So riff with me.
Like, think about because their day to day is now whatever horrible shit they're experiencing every single day. So it's almost like as characters, they're more interesting that they're like unfazed by it.
Okay, so then they're leaving the crime scene, talking about it,
or they're on their way there.
Okay, and they're fucking tired of it. Who's the driver? This is I can't fucking see it.
And
Carrie will look good in
Carrie
a lady
usually
suit,
actual drives, but I think John would be the driver.
Maybe I see Carrie driving. Now you're saying she actually drives? Because that's a personality thing. Because I told my wife.
All right, so put her in the driver's seat.
Because I don't want her to drive.
Yeah, and then the Manimal character, you should have
What is he doing? Elbow out of the window? Smoking a cigarette?
Yeah, both.
Looking at evidence.
But he's got to have like a weird quirk, like something that like distracts him easily.
Okay, the quirk is a level even more detail. But what's the conversation? Maybe I could figure out the quirk if he's. Is Carrie quiet? Is Carrie the quiet detective driver?
And
John is the constantly filling, and Carrie's jumping in. Like, you know how Matthew McConaughey's character was very just studying and stoic, and Woody Harrelson, man, are you even fucking paying attention type of deal? Like, or maybe John's quiet, like a complete.
Nah. If you're gonna actually like make a movie out of it, like
it'd be cool.
He's got he's got legitimate like acting ability.
I know.
And like you'd want to use that.
Okay.
Because you can get a lot out of him. He's got like a pretty broad spectrum of emotions he can cover convincingly, to be honest.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. But you don't think people will be like, holy shit, John's just stoic and listening?
I mean, you could do stoic.
Just chimes in with the fucking anchor of it, like a line?
Well, yeah.
Or you like him being the...
You could still have him be stoic, but also talkative. Or have him be talkative to her only.
Okay.
So that anytime they're with other people in the movie or scene, it's her talking.
Oh, and John will be like, man, fuck that guy. I never liked that guy.
Yeah.
When he leaves the scene. Okay, and it's got to be cursing because he is Brooklyn
or
fucking
like
raw.
have it be like it's like good cop, bad cop, but when he goes bad cop, it's like fucking bad cop.
Okay.
It's like someone's getting thrown down a staircase or something.
Right. And then Carrie's got to hold him back.
And he'll be like, "Do you see that?" She'll be like, "I didn't see nothing."
Woo! Okay. I'm trying to figure out what the crime is. This is good though. You're like character.
Well, if
what would
it's
it be,
at
like,
the
character painting. I don't know shit about
we're
film.
just brainstorming.
Brainstorm. That's what it's called.
But like, dude, have you ever like, oh man, dude, the psych center is so warped with all the energy that's there.
I've only been around perimeter. I'm like, can we get? Why are there fucking lights on?
I don't know if you want to go in those buildings, man.
Is it operational?
No.
You swear to God.
There's no.
There's lights on.
No, there's no lights. It's reflective off of something.
No. I took my son to like indoor playground and it was nighttime. There's fucking lights like a city building.
In
the Pilgrim.
Oh, Pilgrim State's operational.
Oh, okay.
No, Kings Park is not
this
operational.
was getting weird.
Dude, Kings
Oh,
Park.
wait, I said Kings Park,
yeah.
right? Oh, so Pilgrim's not...
Part of Pilgrim's operational, but part of it is not.
What
like,
town is that? Is that Brentwood?
That's like Brentwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, dude, at Kings Park, like, that whole psych center is, like, connected by
I was way
underground
off.
tunnels. Like, there's underground
People
tunnels.
were robbing copper.
Dude, there was...
Did you hear
Oh,
about it?
yeah. No,
Like,
that whole building is all
homeless
asbestos
people.
and copper. Yeah. But there was, like, buildings there for the staff to live at and stuff. Like, and then one day, like, they just cut funding and send everyone home.
And you have all these patients.
And they just put them... Some of them got put into homes. Some of them just got released.
Into Long Island.
Into Long Island. Just like, see you later.
That could be our first film.
Dude, there's definitely like some like with
We can make up
with
a
the
film.
90s stuff being so nostalgic right now, it's plenty of opportunity for 90s based. And like the 80s is when I think Reagan cut funding for psych centers, and then they had until like the 90s most of them got shut down. And some of them are still operational. But like Kings Park was just a psych center.
Can we spin it into a cop drama?
But almost certainly.
Right?
You know, you could base it around like the closing of Kings Park, and
So the father got out, and then the son, they catch the son, and then they're like, they shake the evidence out of it, and this crazy son's like, yeah, that's him. And they're like, you're the son of it? I don't know. Like,
okay. I mean, sure. You could, because there's a lot of opportunity.
would you ever be interested in film? Like
yeah.
that type of shit? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
just keep the juices. Like if you look at all your bars,
That was
if one bar is
probably-
jiu-jitsu, keep the juices going.
Yeah.
Creative.
I
Creators create.
Yeah.
Creators create, bruh.
I would always, like, I always wanted to make a film. Like that was always like on my like back burner
We
kind of
could push
thing.
it to 30 minutes. I feel like I'm hitting on
like
some
a
type
short, like a,
But come on.
I guess it would be called a short, right?
We got some.
We could submit it to Cannes.
They're not subjects. We got some good
Themes?
lead and co-leads and themes.
They could work as they're like great characters.
I feel like Harry Mack. He's not going to see this far in this. Everybody will see the Instagram stuff. Harry Mack will be the crazy patient, right? You see it too, right?
I mean, you got plenty of good.
With the
patience.
jujitsu world, we
Yeah,
got
it's
plenty.
just like, show up, guys. We just need you to show up. Wear a robe.
Yep. What do you call the backwards?
Yeah, like
the
a
gown.
smock. Yeah. like-
The smock. You ready to paint in blood? Ooh, we're getting somewhere. And you even got your like Zack Snyder look, man. You look like a fucking
well, that's
director.
why I'm growing this out. It gives me that director look.
I'm gonna get you No, you never said your birthday. Though that's when you got your blue belt. When's your birthday?
Yeah, August. Same.
Oh, same.
Yeah, I think 11th is my birthday. I think the 15th I got my blue
Oh,
belt.
so then it's definitely a business. They see it's your birthday. They're like, all right, we'll give them.
Get him the blue belt, whatever. No one's gonna know.
You stay consistent. If you could even not show up till June, Matt's so busy. But if you do June, July, and August, you're getting the purple.
Yeah.
I've thought about those things. I was like, can somebody like sign me up for classes? Like, do they keep track of those things? Like the tally, the class kiosk?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they keep track of it. I don't know if it matters in their decision for promotions. I have no idea what actually gets people promoted.
I think everybody's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, content creators. Dude, I've met some people at UFC events. They've explained, bro, and this guy looks like he hasn't slept. I swear to God. Like, he's drinking Bang Energy after drinking a Starbucks coffee. He's like, bro, 11 a.m. is where it's at. You get to them before lunch. And I'm like, he's dead serious about algorithms and stuff. Like, people want that code of how to get clicks, impressions, attention.
Yeah.
It's could get too obsessive. Like,
I mean, yeah. Well, because you're on the internet looking at coming up in your scroll all these other people that are like having success doing it, and you're like, what the fuck are they doing?
you ever say, get the reply, have somebody reply, even reply to your own fucking thing? Like, I've seen that. I'm like,
Yeah, and
it's too much.
it doesn't help.
It's too much. The hashtags, if you start with an at or if you back-to-back hashtags, no, I'm like, too much.
Yeah,
Too much.
yeah. I don't know. I wish there was a simple answer.
It's different parts of the brain for us.
Yeah,
Like, to be the creator and be the business person is...
yeah. I don't really understand. Like, even with all the research on posting times and all like the scientific stuff behind like what type of content moves and what doesn't, like even putting all the effort into the video and like the visuals I put out, like even on the other pages I have, like there's no predicting. Like something I put like no effort into gets like a couple hundred.
I was just gonna say, like, you put like some like no edited video, you just cropped.
Yeah.
And then it probably gets 500 as opposed to like 111.
Yeah.
With the I am exhausted at how much I edited this, and you're like,
Yeah.
upload, crickets.
Yep. That's accurate.
Oh my gosh. Hopefully some teenagers, because according to Rogan, I'll always say this, according to Rogan, 70% of the youth, I don't know what he classifies as the youth, want to be content creators. My nephew was here. He saw a green screen. We filmed him Spider-Man. He was Spider-Man. My niece, she came here. She was Britney Spears singing
Nice.
karaoke. It was cool to be that uncle, I see it. I see what he's saying about the young people want to be content creators. It's like, maybe this could be some type of like guidebook or manual, like, don't give up, take the wins, keep pushing forward, like, because we're fucking grown ass men, and it's like, it's crazy out here.
Well, it's a whole new world with all of the different media outlets now. It wasn't like this 20 years ago.
Got to get on TikTok. How you not on TikTok? You're
yeah.
a creator. You're on, and it's like,
But that's the thing is like
it's gonna be flip flop is the next one.
like finding the right platform for the stuff that you're working on. It's like I do like some that commercial I showed you before. Like, I have a Shopify store I've been working on, but like that content is really, I'm making it for TikTok and Pinterest. Like, it wouldn't play the same way on Instagram or Facebook. It's a very
Smart of you.
I hope so.
No, I've never
It's an
thought
attempt
about
at being smart. But like those two, the people on there are different, and
Right.
the platforms operate differently. They perform differently. Things that stand out on one don't stand out on another. Like on Pinterest, you could see all the pins, so like it's similar to the discover page or search page on Instagram. So having stuff that just looks good and is a little flashier is going to stand out, stuff like that. Like, whereas on Facebook, it's like one thing is coming up at a time as you scroll through, or TikTok, it's all one stuff. But on TikTok, everything is like, wah! In your face, explosive, loud, like, there's some kind of like hook, drop, whatever, like immediately. So it's got to be something energetic. You can't like go on TikTok and try to be like low energy and lame and expect views.
Oh my God! If I put like I think it's unlimited. If I put like 10 minutes of this interview, it would be like people would be like, "Oh my God, thanks for the insomnia medicine." But right, it needs to be like, "Hey, how are you, Jeremy?" Like,
This week on TikTok
and jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut.
right, yeah. And even that might not work.
Dude, it's scary. It is scary. My son is like well involved with the freaking pad. Like he knows how to go to the pad, delete apps, download apps. Like, when are the schools going to have freaking pads in the desk?
Probably not that far off.
No.
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 And by the time these kids are, who knows? Like, by the time they're 13, they're going to have 10, 20, 100 times the ability that we've ever had with computers, including 10 years from now. If your kid spends 10 years on a computer from the time basically they're born till they're 12, 13 to 18 years old, like their brains are going to be wired completely differently than ours are. Their ability to learn on those devices is going to be completely different than ours is.
YouTube, they're gonna like study
Will
classes.
YouTube even be like,
right? That might be like
it's like 10 years from now with everything that's happening right now. There's no predicting what the internet's going to be like in 10 years. With AI, with virtual reality, like what currently exists isn't even all of it. It's not even close.
No.
Like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram are probably not even the next thing. Like it's Meta could be. Like he's developing.
My prediction's a Meta coin. As soon as somebody takes over the whole digital currency thing, like a stable face, that's a wrap. If it's Meta coin or X coin by Elon Musk or something like.
So it's a race to monetize.
Oh my gosh, it's coming.
I wanted to see Elon fight Zuckerberg.
They really gonna open up the Roman Coliseum? Like that's just it. That pisses me off. Just do it at the T-Mobile Arena. Why are you gonna like?
Especially because it would be probably a terrible fight.
That shows everybody has a price.
Could you imagine if it wasn't a terrible fight? If it was like,
they should do like death.
Freaking
they like
fight to death.
Yeah.
It was like
would people tune in if they knew somebody was gonna die?
And Stephen Bonner. Like imagine it was
but
like
it keeps going
till they die. No, but like just imagine like those two just throwing punches for like 15 minutes, and it was just like an actual, legitimately good, entertaining fight.
What's the plant that the guys from Captain Phillips would do?
I could imagine Elon Musk walking out to the middle of the ring and pointing at the ground like the Max Holloway and
Ricardo Lamas.
Was it? Or was it Dustin Poirier?
Lamas. Oh, well, maybe he points to everybody, maybe.
Oh, does he?
But where they slugged it out for like 10, 15 seconds?
coming out of the third round, I think Holloway got up
So
first.
that sounds
and
right.
he like points at the middle of the ring, and Dustin Poirier is like mid drink of water, like spits it out, like gets up all excited, like he's like ready to slug it out with him. I'm pretty sure that was.
You sound like a Musk Zuckerberg publicist.
Okay, just imagine. Elon pointing at the center of the ring.
I don't think it's a good sign that Zuck is out due to injury.
Oh, is he? But he would probably win anyway, because the last time Elon was on Joe Rogan, he's like, "Oh, I pretty much just do what I do to him. He'll be all right."
Yeah, but he's gonna be on every steroid. Elon Musk, like it's a one-off. He's 50-something, and he's a brainiac.
Who would you take? Like steroids versus skill.
100% Zuck. I believe
Right.
like the truth is always revealed. If they're gonna really do this, the truth is always revealed on fight night. Like thank God Leon Edwards beat Colby Covington. Like
that was a weird one though.
Bully the bully.
Man, it's like Covington didn't look like he was in a groove until the fourth round, when he actually started attempting some takedowns. Like he wasn't even really throwing punches or anything.
That showed a 20-month layoff.
That's a long layoff.
But then you got your title shot by sitting out, so now it's like
crazy. It was stupid. It was so stupid. Stupid title shot. Bad fight. not worth the $80.
He didn't get finished. He got paid, and he used all that time to rest. It's
For
a win
him,
in
but
his
for
book.
the UFC, like, why the fuck did you give
Right.
him that title shot?
Dana White said
You
he
know?
looks slow and old. But that will motivate him. You know he's going to get, because he did look slow.
Yeah, but the last fight, Bilal Muhammad looked awesome.
Right.
So
and he's
it's
been
like,
active.
and yes, son, what, 6-fight win streak?
Something
Like that. Like,
Yes,
but that's
maybe more.
That sounds like a deserving of a title shot,
I want
and it would have been a better
Bilal
fight.
versus Shavkat.
That's a good
And
fight.
Leon versus Islam, or Leon versus winner of Strickland Duplessis. Who's Islam going to fight at 55? There's nobody.
I thought he was going to 75,
So if he goes up,
or is it 85?
it has to be into a title fight. 70.
170.
Because he's at 55. Leon's
But
at
I
70.
thought that didn't he just fight at 170 against
Never. Islam?
Islam. I'm thinking of Khamzat.
Wrong Muslim.
Oh, so he's at 55. Islam Makhachev
Yep.
come up to fight.
Him and Edwards. I will always take those legacy super fights over the next guy in line. Shavkat, we need to see. He just beat Wonder Boy. Come on.
Yeah,
We
I'm
need
pretty
to see
convinced
one
of it.
more. Bilal, you kind of are getting beat up by Leon Edwards on the feet. I know there was an eye poke, but you're getting fucking picked apart.
He didn't get picked apart his last fight.
Beat Shavkat. Undeniable.
You know,
Shavkat?
who did he beat last time?
Was it Sean Brady? No, that was
I don't remember. But he looked really good, man. And now he's working. Isn't he like with American Top Team now? He wasn't previously. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I always get like so like confused by like people that like really hate on fighters. Like Bilal Muhammad gets a lot of crap on social media. I don't get it. The guy's a great
because
fighter.
he's confident, and people don't have that. He's smart. Did you see his like post-fight take? He was like, "See," and again, I'm not even gonna reference it good because it's so good, but I forgot it. Full circle.
Right.
It was so good. You got to check it out. But his call out was amazing. Why he should be next. Like
What did he say?
He said, "Make the welterweight division great again." He goes, "I'm your guy." He goes, "What is this? Too crap. These jabronis." Like Edwards couldn't even. It was like his like promotional thing. It was really good. But I like legacy fights. Give me the 155 champ versus the 170 champ. Because 55, it's Justin Gaethje. Sure, him versus Islam is cool, but
Well, Oliveira is still interesting.
Right, I
That's
forgot
still
about him.
interesting.
I forgot.
I
Volkanovski stepped
feel
in.
yeah, and I feel like
Right,
the
right,
first
right.
Oliveira fight, like he got shook by
He had
the
to fight,
reputation.
and he went to Abu Dhabi to fight.
But then I
and he
think-
was the title holder. I didn't like that, him fighting on the road.
And then I think seeing Volk go 5 rounds with him makes you go, "Oh, that's possible," you know.
Okay,
And then being Oliveira, now you're the same size. I think it's a better fight. Definitely better. I think it was going to be a better fight than the first one.
I've heard that like the Saudis or the people who run Abu Dhabi specifically want Islam every time. I don't think Charles wants to go there again.
Well,
The time zones,
yeah, it's got to be rough.
definitely not a fan favorite there.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have to, or not. I mean, who's, are they going to give it to Chandler? Give the fight to Chandler? They can't because they got to wait for freaking Connor.
Islam Edwards, and you give Islam the chance to be a champ.
Not against Edwards.
No,
I don't think so.
Edwards beats him.
Yeah,
Woo!
I think so. Here's the other thing. I don't understand why people don't give Edwards the credit that he deserves. The guy's on a
Right.
13-fight win streak,
Apparently tied George St. Pierre for longest welterweight win streak. Still,
and no one knows about it.
they're like, well, you didn't
He beat
finish
Kamaru
Covington.
Usman. They finished Usman.
Right,
You know,
right. And somebody said
Covington-
his gas tank is not good because of that fight, and I was like, wait, but he won.
yeah. So,
But he knocked him out in the final minute. Like, he wasn't used to the elevation, and he came through. He did it. So what the? I swear, everybody's like, if you push the pedal, Bilal pushed. People have even made that reference. Bilal pushed the pedal against him, and he showed that he was getting wary as the fight was going on. I was like,
I mean, that's like saying that Nate Diaz caught him with that one punch in the 5th round,
right, that's the
and
same.
then that was
going
going
to
to change the fight. I mean, it could have. I mean, like if that had gone on another round or so, but he also might have head kicked him too. So it's like it's almost like he's counted out of the fights though.
Always.
Like, what are you you guys what? Like the guy throws. His kickboxing is amazing. Or is he a Muay Thai guy?
clean.
What is actual? I know that. Well, he does throw elbows and knees, right? Is that the distinction?
I think just kickboxing.
Well, isn't American kickboxing there are no elbows and knees
good question.
in the rule set?
American kickboxing?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like Glory?
No, I think I don't know.
Like how there's Dutch style kickboxing,
I
French,
guess.
and then there's American,
Well, like Muay Thai
Brazil,
is
or
Thailand. Yeah, you ever seen Rocky Balboa? He's like talking to the female lead in it. He's like, "Oh, where's he from?" She goes, "He's Jamaica." He's like, "Oh, European."
Oh God, I told my Rocky moment.
Nice. Yeah, so I think Leon Edwards would knock out Makhachev
I want to see it.
because I don't think Makhachev could hold him down.
And then people are going to say, "Well, he was a smaller guy."
Right. Yeah, but they didn't say that about Volkanovski.
I know, right?
You know?
Thank
Like,
you.
You head kicked Volkanovski
On 10 days
you
notice.
head kicked Volkanovski.
On
Like,
fucking 10 days notice too.
well, that was his bad decision. I don't think
Well,
he should have done
The
that.
UFC's doing this a lot lately. I feel.
Yeah, but I feel like
Put money on top.
but
Get the
that,
fighter to sign.
Oh,
What's 500 extra K to them? $1 million extra dollars. Like, they get so much from the total event.
yeah, he shouldn't have taken it though.
To get Aljo to turn around on 3 months' notice after going 5 rounds with an Olympic gold medalist,
I heard
to go to
Cejudo-
Boston with the Irish crowd, facing a guy who's been off for 10 months. What'd they give him? 500 extra? But his legacy now is shattered.
Well, I don't know.
Cracked.
About shattered.
That
Yeah,
is a strong word.
Yeah, he lost the fight.
It has derailed. What? I love playing wordplay.
It's derailed because of how big Sugar Sean is.
And did you see that the UFC posted that knockout on their YouTube channel like 7 minutes after it happened?
No.
Aljo was always being set up
Mm.
for the hit.
That Sugar Sean, would they score the second round? Quote.
Fuck that guy.
Dude.
I was in that room and I want to
Were
be
you?
like, motherfucker, he took the fight. You're building his your name off his platform. He took it 3 months. Like, this is a favorable matchup in Boston. I was just eating my cookies and coffee. I didn't really say anything. But the funniest part for me, there was a young black kid in the stands, and I'm like, you ready for Aljo to beat up Sean O'Malley? He goes, what? O'Malley all day. And I'm like, man.
I don't know if I would have said O'Malley all day, but I'm not shocked that he won. I'm not shocked that he was able to, you know?
And why is Aljo not wrestling?
It's, because that would be like where he would win for sure.
It should have been Khabib Conor too, where from the first 30 seconds, Khabib's not playing around with the striking. Just jump on the legs, no matter what. Just make him wrestle. Because I think that feeler round gave O'Malley the confidence to be like, oh, okay. Like, kind of get settled in. Have you done a jiu-jitsu tournament?
Yeah, but
So when you step on
Do
the
I?
mats, it feels different than
Yes.
like the gym.
yes.
Like, the crowd is over there. You're the focus. The mat feels different. Somebody grabbing you, they're like 20% stronger. It's different. I think Sean was feeling that, like, I'm the headlining event around this. I'm the big money star. The UFC has all this set up for me. They told me I knock him out, I'll get on YouTube. Like, this is going to be gigantic. I think he was nervous. And, of course, he's human. But Aljo should have jumped on him from the jump.
Well, I heard Cejudo.
My apologies.
and,
Not shattered, not shattered. You're going to make a run at 45, Aljo. Let's fucking go.
Cejudo is fighting
Marab,
Marab.
let's fucking go.
It's a good fight.
Marab, time to shatter Cejudo's career. Let's fucking go. If he loses 2 in a row,
He's done.
you said he's done.
Cejudo.
You see the wordplay? It's like, it's fucking dangerous.
What do you mean?
Like when you're like, man, this guy's fucking falling off, or this guy is his career is just he needs to retire. Like,
Well, I mean, if he
Words
loses,
are
if he
important.
loses to he lost to the champ. If he loses to the number one guy, then what's after that?
daddy
He
daycare.
goes to fight the number two guy.
Him or Sandhagen, right? I guess it just keeps going down.
I don't like him against Sandhagen either. I like the layoff was very long. I don't know. Maybe he would look better than he did against Aljo, but I don't think he's gonna. I think Marab is gonna grab him, and well,
It'll be interesting.
it'll be interesting. But I don't think he can beat Marab.
No, not at this point. Marab
I
is
think
on a whole
I
nother
think
level.
Marab would finish him.
I think it's the pay-per-view card with Volk and Taporia. I don't like Volk making that turnaround that fast from October to February.
Well, he didn't camp for that though.
But the knockout,
Oh,
you're facing a heavy-handed Ilya Taporia. Dangerous.
well, he's not throwing those size 6s at anyone. Oh man, I wish I could actually fight.
You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do a video of like fighting, a music video where you're like,
Me actually.
"Life's a fight, and then you die. That's why we get high."
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know.
This might be the longest podcast I've ever done.
How long are we on?
Let me check my watch. That doesn't work. Oh,
Oh shit.
probably 3 hours.
Yeah. Should probably wrap then.
Yes, sir. Nerdy Jerm. Where can we get the merch?
It's at Nerdy Jerm on Instagram and TikTok and
YouTube.
YouTube is at Nerdy Jerm.
Full videos. I want to obviously.
2 of them are up on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nerdy Germ, all of the social platforms, Spotify, etc.
Kids, follow him on social media. But replay this. There's a lot of layers. We cracked through to them, but we didn't clean the diamonds. It was a little bit messy, but there's some beautiful, beautiful gems inside these past 3 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Your boy Ike is out.